We're partying like it's 2019. Another dynasty may have just died last night.
I'm so happy, bro.
Listen, yeah. I'm happy as a Giants fan.
Why are you happy as a Giant?
Yeah,
I'm
why
a
are you
Niners
happy?
fan.
Well, I'm happy for the Chiefs not winning again because I'm tired of dynasties for some reason. I guess the repetitiveness.
Yeah, because like
And
it's
then,
you know what the result's gonna be. 'Cause they're
And
gonna
I'm
win.
just happy Saquon Barkley gets a ring out of purgatory in his first year there, too. So,
Would you say most Giants fans are happy that Saquon got a ring?
I think that's the most plausible.
You know what the
thing that
strange
they
thing
like.
is? A lot of Giants fans hated Saquon when he signed with Philadelphia. And as the season slowly kept progressing and the Giants slowly kept falling apart, their opinions kind of changed. Like, oh, maybe this guy was onto something.
Yeah, they low-key
Yeah.
were rooting for him. And
Yeah, they were 100%. Especially when you're playing,
100%.
especially when you're playing the bad guys in the Super Bowl. You kind of have to not root for them.
Yeah. Crazy how all Giants fans became Eagles fans last night.
Oh, yeah, just for Saquon. Because we saw how bad our front office is, like letting this guy go, but that we can't build a football team for 10-plus years.
The fact that you chose a bum-ass quarterback over him, and both of them are gone now. It's like, it's crazy.
Literally.
Sad. It's
But,
honestly
look, the
sad.
Giants did take a W. Eli made the kick. So
He did, but he didn't make the Hall of Fame, though.
doesn't matter. He's going to get in.
wait.
He's going to
Wait
get
another
in.
year.
Yeah. He's only going to get in because of the 2 rings.
Yeah.
But he'll get it.
Yes, I
he won't
agree
get it on his first try. I didn't think he would. But what
We
you
were
call it?
expecting that. I don't know.
I was talking to my dad last night. I love how split I am when it comes to Philly sports. Because, like, you all know I hate the Sixers, which is mainly because of Embiid, but I
Yeah,
hate
of
the
course.
Sixers. I hate the Philadelphia Phillies, but, like, I don't really have an issue with the Eagles. I don't have an issue with the Flyers. Like,
Well, the Flyers have been bad for a long time, and it's hockey.
but still, I mean, the Devils is kind of the rivalries with the Rangers. Obviously, the Jets fans typically don't like the Giants, even though I worked for them, so I don't really
Yeah.
hate them. But it's always nice seeing a team beat them.
Yeah.
So I really don't have a problem with the Eagles, and they took down Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. Like as a Jets fan, I don't like Tom Brady, so
Twice.
I'm in the minority there.
Yeah.
So Tom Brady's now what 0-2 with the Eagles in attendance at the Super Bowl. So it's pretty cool.
Do you think Tom Brady was rooting for the Eagles last night?
Yeah, because I don't think he wants.
He doesn't want Pat
No,
chasing
you know what
him
it's
like
like?
that.
It's like Shaq last year pushing his SGA agenda because he didn't want Jokic to pass up his legacy.
Yeah, he doesn't want Mahomes passing up his 7 rings.
Tom Brady's still the GOAT, though. We can all say that, right?
Yeah.
I hope we can. Come on, Tyler.
My Jets bias says no.
Nah, come on.
So
He's the best quarterback.
7 rings. What is it, like 5 or 4 MVPs?
something like that. It's either
man's winning
to me-
percentage is crazy.
To me,
Super
it's,
clutch.
It's either him or Joe Montana.
Yeah, and then when Mahomes retires.
We'll see.
We'll see.
that's the
I mean, to
thing.
be fair, Tom Brady was 3-2 in his first 5 Super Bowls.
Was he?
So yeah,
Okay.
So
We
we'll
will
see.
about Pat.
Mahomes is literally on the pathway right now
Of Brady.
Of Brady. It should be
Yeah.
interesting to see. But yeah, it was Super Bowl Sunday. We hope you guys did enjoy it amidst the game was a blowout, but we don't get blowouts in the Super Bowl very often. The last one happened, I think, in MetLife when the
Denver
Seahawks
and
put the hammer
Seattle.
down on Denver.
Yeah.
So
It was like 43 to like 13.
43-8, I think it was. Yeah, it was
yeah.
a total blowout.
Killed.
But you know what this means, guys?
What?
We're now in full NBA mode. It's great. So we're in full NBA mode for the
more
rest of
football.
the season. No more football, which means that
We can lock in.
We can lock back in on the NBA. And at the time we're recording this, in just a few hours, Luka Doncic will make his debut for the Los Angeles Lakers.
Ooh, I have to watch that.
Yeah, it's
What's it on?
10:30.
ESPN?
ESPN, yeah.
Ooh, okay, I'm going to
So-
tune in.
Who are they playing?
The Jazz.
Okay.
Oh,
Whack.
that's going to be a big triple-double for him and Kyrie.
pour one out for Larry Markkinen. He's got a tough assignment tonight.
I'll watch that later on for sure.
So, but what's going on, everyone? Welcome to episode number 44 of the Floor Spacer podcast. Tyler Schwartz, Anthony Cavino, and Giovanni Squitieri coming at you from the studio once again. Guys, how we doing?
I'm going to yawn. Hold on.
Right.
I'm tired, as you can see.
Nah.
But no, yeah, football's over. I'm focusing on basketball, and baseball season's just around the corner. Spring training starts this week for a lot of teams, including the Yankees and for Tyler's Mets as well.
It's just all pitchers and catchers, though.
Position players are next week.
Oh, okay, fair.
But yes, baseball season 2. NBA season, of course, is a little more prominent because baseball season starts off. We have 100 games to go. We're not really focusing on the first 5 games of the year.
Yeah, we chill.
Man, I miss baseball, man.
I know, Gio.
I used to
You're a
cook.
great baseball player.
No, honestly, I was. Back when I was like 13, 14 years old, I was on a Under Armour team, All-American for my age group.
Why didn't you play baseball?
I was cooking, and then
why don't you play baseball?
I just ended up hating baseball with
That's
a burning passion because I was playing 3 seasons out of the year.
You got
so I got
burnt out.
completely burnt out, hated baseball going into high school, switched to football, and then ended up regretting dropping out on baseball.
Yeah.
So
That's fair.
Listen,
my son is going to be a good baseball player. I'll tell you that.
Okay.
Yeah, no, but we're excited. We have a pretty news-heavy episode. We're going to recover.
Recover?
We're going to cover. I don't know why I say recover. We're going to cover the trade deadline and the big trades that went down after, of course, Luka and De'Aaron Fox. We cover that, of course.
Yeah.
You said recover again.
Yeah, you said recover.
I did say recover.
We're going to cover.
We're going to cover it again.
We're actually going to grade every single trade, the top 11 trades. We're going to grade almost every single trade that went down this trade deadline. We're going to talk about some other drama that went down in the NBA. We have some injuries. We have a team spotlight today instead of a player spotlight, so that should be a lot of fun. And we'll cover the All-Star draft later on in the episode. So it should be fun. So guys, anything to say before we dive right in?
Let's go.
Let's do it. So if you guys are on YouTube and you do enjoy today's video, be sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel for new around here. We're trying to get 5K by our 1-year anniversary. We got like a month and a few days left. So get us there. We're closing in. We're like less than 500 away.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll get there. And then we're going to launch our Discord server by then too. If you're on Spotify audio platforms, give us 5 stars, answer the polls, all that stuff. We might be on Apple Podcasts in about a week or 2. So I think I may have figured it out. So it's taken me almost a year, but we won't talk about that. Follow our socials down in the description below. Get Gio to 1 million Instagram followers. And guys,
his Instagram is deactivated.
Did you deactivate it or
no, you're off of it. You just logged.
You just deleted the app. Your Instagram's still active.
Okay. Yeah. But so, follow him up.
Just follow Gio's Instagram. It's on the screen. It's below. So
Maybe.
Let's just dive into the first news story. So we saw a tweet from Shams late the other night that the Mark Williams Dalton Connect trade has been officially rescinded by the Lakers. So we all know that Mark Williams has been dealing with a lot of injuries and body problems throughout his NBA career. I think he's only played in 39% of possible games he could have played in. And look, it just seems to me that the Hornets tried to pull a fast one with his physical, and there's definitely something bad going on. And from Lakers camp, it said that the Hornets failed to meet a condition of the trade, which resulted in the trade being called off. Everything fell through. So Dalton Connect's back in LA. He's playing tonight. Mark Williams obviously is out with whatever's going on with his injuries or his body and whatnot. But there seems to be some beef on social media between the two sides. Rob Pelinka said the Hornets approached the Lakers, but the Hornets said the Lakers approached them. Really? There's conflicting reports surrounding this, but I just want to know y'all's general thoughts on this whole situation, because this is a very interesting, rare occurrence in the NBA where a trade gets rescinded like this.
You know what? I think I would definitely say it's a little bit from both, because we know the Lakers needed a big. So easily could see Pelinka calling Charlotte for Mark Williams, who's a 7'2" center that fits Luka's perfect pick and roll type of center guy. But also, I could see the Hornets calling the Lakers, knowing they need a center, and be like, hey, we need to get off this damaged goods. And right now, he's pretty much playing really good at his peak of his career, and he's healthy right now. And we can get Dalton Connect. Apparently, the Hornets wanted Jeff Connect instead of Tijani Salon, but they thought it was too high for him in the first round. So they settled on Salon.
Because basically what the reports were saying was that the Hornets approached the Lakers wanting Connect and were willing to give up Mark Williams in place of that. And other sources say that Luka picked Mark Williams as the center he wanted.
Yes.
So I don't really know who to believe.
I believe the latter. I believe that the Lakers approached the Hornets wanting Mark Williams.
Yeah.
That makes more sense to me.
It does make more sense, because if you think about it, like, I just don't understand why the Hornets would approach the Lakers in that situation. Like, you don't need Dalton Connect.
No.
Like, you don't.
It could be like a fascination of just wanting him with the young guys. But he's a big center, and he's been doing really good. But like I said, I think I said before the season began that Mark Williams is going to break out. But we all knew his injury issues, being a 7'2" center, out of Duke as well. Just seeing he's playing like an Embiid thing right now, like playing every other game, every other like 3 or 4 games, but he's putting out really good like box score numbers for sure. But I mean, I guess the good thing out of this is that I guess the Lakers don't get a damaged center and lose 2 first-round picks and a young guy.
Yeah.
But also the Lakers don't have a center anymore.
How do we know he's damaged?
Injury history.
Bad injury history.
If the trade got rescinded, there's no way in hell he passed that physical.
Really?
There's no way.
Yeah, that's the main thing.
So this is where the Nets kind of screwed themselves over a few years ago, and they waived Ben Simmons' physical. So because obviously the back problems flared up and everything like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm gonna assume this is a very Cam Whitmore-esque situation where there's probably cartilage problems somewhere. I don't know exactly where he's hurt. But
Is it a knee thing?
That's my assumption. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
It has to be.
They were saying, so Dave McManaman said back issues for majority of his young career, but there were other reasons for the failed physical.
Okay, so he did fail the physical.
Yeah.
Which isn't really surprising because Mark Williams is basically got the Embiid problem where he's just banged up everywhere. And it's probably a lot of long-term stuff that's going to keep him sidelined for a very long time.
Wow.
So it's interesting to see. And I am surprised they did risk it and go for Mark Williams. There were low risk options they could have gotten just to suffice for this season or at the very most next season. I didn't think you really needed to go for the home run swing on Mark Williams. It just felt unnecessary to me.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's kind of satisfying Luka's needs, but I'm sure Luka's probably okay with what happened with this because they probably told him, hey, like, he's got a lot of problems. We can't take him on with you.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Luka's like, all right, we'll wait in the off season. We have plenty of time to find someone in the off season.
Well, they have to wait now because the trade deadline's gone, so they can't make any more moves.
Or a buyout market, whoever gets center bought out. I have no idea.
I mean, there's really no good options on the. But you're looking at what Daniel Tice. That's really the only option, and even he's not like. If he has to guard Jokic, Hartenstein, Chet in the playoffs, like he's not.
It's over.
Jackson Hayes enough is going to get bitched down low. Yeah. So this definitely hurt the Lakers' chances this year at contending. Not that Mark Williams could guard those guys anyways, but it's just some fruit for thought, I suppose. But what are your thoughts on this whole thing, Gio?
Well, initially I was thinking, I bet you Dalton Connect is probably ecstatic.
Oh yeah.
Not going to Charlotte and staying in LA.
Although to be fair, did you imagine the shots he would have gotten to put up in Charlotte?
True.
His usage rate would be through the roof.
What do you think he wants to do? Do you think he's happy to stay in LA, or is he?
I don't really think he's bothered, to be honest. I think really if he went, he gets to play with Luka and LeBron now. He's probably going to get a lot more limited minutes though.
Very true.
Because he started off the season so hot.
I know.
And then he just fell off a cliff.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
And what do you think about the Lakers moving off of Connect this quick, this early? This is their rookie. This is their first pick in the draft, right?
Yeah. Well, he was like the 17th pick.
Yeah, it's their
first pick.
Their first round pick.
Yeah.
So here's my kind of understanding of it is just like the Thunder drafting Topic. I think you take a risk on a guy that he would be a steal. He's an older rookie. Older rookies don't have a long future in this league. So just like Nikola Topic, I think is a little older. I'm not too sure though.
So it's basically like he's already like evolved. What you see is what you get.
Yeah, they're not going to develop as like.
I see what you're saying.
I think the developmental ceiling of Dalton Connect is a lot lower than a guy like Zachary Sachet.
I got you.
Because he's young, he's got a lot more time, he's got a lot of untapped potential. So you utilize the rookie as much as you can utilize, and then if an opportunity comes where you can bring in someone that brings you over the top, i.e. the Thunder for Cam Johnson, Topic is an easy piece you can just part with because it was a risk anyways. That way you get to keep your rotational guys. Like imagine if the Phoenix Suns had drafted, let's say, Amen Thompson, for example, in a Kevin Durant trade, that could have made a lot more sense, where you're giving up him instead of your depth in Mikal Bridges and Cam Johnson and all that stuff. It's just an example. But that's a situation where a guy can essentially save you in a trade. Yeah. And that's what Dalton Connect did. He also kind of essentially does the same things as Reeves.
He does.
So a little bit of redundancy there.
Yeah, there's I don't know. I saw this this thing on Instagram. It was like too many white guys on the Lakers. Pelinka decided one of them has to go. But I guess that rescinded, but
yeah. I don't know. I mean, it's weird. When I saw a tweet, I was like, what? I was like, the deadline passed. How could they do this? But I saw the article, and I was like, all right. I guess it makes sense because we know Mark has always been out for a long time.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, you know what? It is what it is. You move on. The Lakers will find a center. It's not going to be
will they?
difficult.
They won't.
That's the question.
You're right now on your roster, you have Jackson Hayes. You have Koloko on your bench, who is, he's a bench player. And who knows when Christian Wood's ever going to play again. I mean, bro's been hurt for like 5 years now. It's ridiculous. So,
I mean, listen, small ball lineups. You have Rui and LeBron. LeBron can play center.
If you have to play the Nuggets or the Thunder in the playoffs, they're not winning a game in that series.
So close.
Okay.
So I guess this segues now into my next question. Ceiling for the Lakers. What do you see? Because obviously I know they don't have a center, but they have Luka Doncic in the building. Where do we see ceiling wise, seeding and playoffs? They're currently 5th in the West right now.
I think it's still what we said. We said I think like 5 or 6.
Doesn't change for me.
Yeah, no.
I think it stays the same.
Yeah.
I think they even drop one. They go down to like the 6th seed.
Okay.
Doesn't really change
Yeah,
for me.
no.
Yeah.
All right.
They're not making it past second round.
Yeah.
That's what I
Yeah,
would
probably
think.
not. Because, I mean, you're looking at a first round matchup potentially against one of Houston, Memphis, or Denver. And then if you win that game, you're playing either Denver, Houston, Memphis, or OKC, depending on what seed they get.
Yeah.
So, I honestly, at this point, I don't know if they would even get out of the first round.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like, it's iffy at this point. Like, if you're playing Jokic, like, Jokic is going to average like 50 and
Oh my
50 that
goodness.
series.
He's gonna go
Yeah.
insane.
Because like AD at least was able to score on Jokic, and he
Right.
was able to at least somewhat.
Defense.
But
Some
like
defense.
Jokic was frying his ass every time. But like you're gonna put Rui Hachimura on Jokic now. Like, good lord, he's gonna get
Nice.
Rui's gonna get exiled out of LA because Jokic is gonna just dominate the paint. So
Yeah, we have to see who they get matched up with, and if it even is a play-in they get or a 5.
I doubt
6
they'll be
seed.
in the play-in, even though it's kind of close. I still think they'll be okay.
Yeah.
So let's transition because we'll go from the Luka end of the trade to the Mavs end of the trade.
Yes.
We saw Anthony Davis make his debut on Saturday afternoon against the Houston Rockets. Now, first, I have a little bit of a bone to pick with the NBA, but they flexed the Lakers, whatever the Lakers Pacers game on that night, and they moved them. They had the Mavs and Rockets on League Pass, and Adam Silver wonders why ratings are down. So, but anyways, this game in specific, I mean, Anthony Davis started the game off insane. Like he had 6, 4, and 3 in 1 minute.
Yeah.
Like it was ridiculous, and he was just dominating. I think he had like 24 and like on like I think 12 rebounds at the half. First half double. He was playing out of his mind, and in the third quarter, he gets hurt.
Boom.
And
The full AD experience.
literally just in 30 minutes, you get the full AD experience. And I'm just like, you gotta be kidding me.
Yeah.
Because you know what happened?
What was it?
With 2 minutes left in the game, I was watching the game, went to the bathroom, and I came back and I see on Twitter that Anthony Davis headed to the locker room. I'm like, for fuck's sake. I'm like not one game. Like couldn't even get through one game. Couldn't even get through 3 quarters.
Yeah.
And then after the game, he calmed down everyone, saying it just felt some tightness. I think I'm okay. And then we get news yesterday that Anthony Davis is sidelined indefinitely
Oh no.
with an adductor strain, I think.
Yeah.
So-
That it is. It's most like it's probably one of the
Listen.
rotator cuff muscles.
I mean, there's 2 thoughts that come to mind. Karma, just from the basketball gods, for trading Luka for a guy that's injured, and you see it firsthand. And I guess the Mavericks fans maybe put a curse on a franchise voodoo to get AD, I don't know, injured.
Nah.
It's kind of crazy shit.
That's a reach. That's a
Just
major
that's a
reach.
little crazy shit, but listen, we know that this is like similar to Mark Williams, but AD's a lot healthier.
And a lot better.
A lot better, of course.
Not better. I don't know about healthier.
But listen,
No.
AD's always injured too.
Yeah, but if Mark Williams failed a physical like that,
Okay.
like
I guess.
and AD didn't fail his.
I guess you can say
But
Yeah.
Nico Harrison's prized return is out for the rest of the year, maybe. We'll see. And it's going to be back to what?
that. My AD?
yeah.
Yeah, we'll see.
He's not out for the rest of the year. Are you kidding me?
Well,
No, he's not out for the rest of the year.
No way.
Okay.
It's just a little strain.
At
He'd be
most,
fine.
he'll miss a month.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
It's still
Yeah.
a long time, though.
It is still a
The
long
Mavs are in the play-in right now.
Yeah, I'm guessing it's gonna be like 2 weeks. I don't think it's just gonna be. It's nothing.
Okay.
It's not
We'll
gonna be
have
that
to see.
crazy.
All right.
We'll have to see because right now, I mean, look, here's the thing. I understand Luka had the conditioning problems, but like, bro on one leg took the Mavs to the finals. How is that not good enough for you? I just don't understand. Like, it's one thing if you traded for an Iron Man, but you traded for a man made of glass. Like, you basically just exchanged your entire future for what? 2 risk-reward years? That's not worth
Yeah.
it, man.
What do you think would be better if they traded for AD or if they traded for LeBron? LeBron reunites with Kyrie
Well, you're not.
back in Dallas. What do you think about that?
They're not.
It's
losing
still
LeBron.
like LeBron's got even less time in the league
Even
than
less
Anthony
time.
Davis.
Right.
So,
But he's an Iron Man. He doesn't get injured.
Right, but LeBron, I mean, he does get hurt, but he doesn't have major injuries. But if you even think, like I said a couple weeks ago, if you even hear the word "lul" on the phone, I'm hanging up instantly. The fact that bro was so happy that he got to trade Luka Doncic like this is ridiculous. And I've been spending the past good week and a half on Twitter just absolutely flaming Nico Harrison for being the biggest idiot on planet Earth.
Yeah, I think we're going to be talking about it for the rest of Luka's career, of course. Nico's going to be out probably out of Dallas, maybe like give it the end of the season, maybe even next season. And he'll go work for the Lakers and trade him back to the Mavericks. No.
He won't go back to the Mavs because there's beef with the owners too.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So what my theory is if Luka doesn't re-sign in LA, you know damn well where he's going to want to go.
Back to Dallas.
No, he can't. No, because the owners. He doesn't want to go back.
Oh, with Luka?
Yeah, if the owners don't want Luka.
You know where Luka wants to go?
So where does he want to go?
He wants to go to Brooklyn.
That's
I knew he was
exactly
gonna
where
say
he
that.
wants to go. That's exactly where
He wants to go to Brooklyn.
I did not hear that report,
To
bro.
rot in purgatory.
Because, I mean, think about it this way, right? The Lakers know damn well not to trade him in conference. And who in the East has a better draft package than the Brooklyn Nets?
Oh, yeah.
Yo, Tyler loves making cases for the Nets, bro.
Yes, sir.
Because they have draft picks.
Yeah,
Bro,
they do.
if we have, imagine a big three of Luka, Cam Thomas, and Cooper Flag. Although we probably have to get rid of Cam Thomas
Okay.
in the trade, but that's besides the point.
He's out of there.
I do believe that Luka is going to resign in Lakers.
Yeah.
Tyler is wearing Lakers colors right now, so he's an advocate for that.
Yeah.
That's fair, I suppose. We'll see. It's
And
not-
you're an advocate. You're wearing gold.
Brian Windhorst said it's not a guarantee that he resigns in LA.
I think it's a lot of factors that
So-
have
I think
to
he
happen for
absolutely
him.
will. We'll see, though.
No.
We'll have to see, because remember, he's not going to get nearly the money he was going to get in Dallas.
Correct.
Yeah, but you're living that Hollywood lifestyle.
I don't think he
He
likes
may not
that
like
life.
that.
He's from Slovenia.
I think he's going to like it.
We'll have to see.
He may not like that.
He said this when he got off the plane. What
He did the LA.
He did this thing.
He did this.
Yeah.
He's like,
Whatever the
he may not.
LA.
He may
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
like it. And some guys don't like it.
He might not.
Some guys don't like it, but Luka seems to be one of those guys that does.
It's possible.
We'll have to see.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think Brooklyn's more of his style.
Oh yeah.
So we'll have to
Sure.
see. It is true. It is a very low key city.
It is.
So, but yeah, I mean, look, as far as Anthony Davis goes, I think Mavs fans at least are seeing what he can do for
Right.
them. But look, right now, what I'm most happy about seeing, Mavs fans love Max Christie.
Oh,
He's been
they-
balling.
Yeah.
Congrats, Gio. You've been playing really good.
I've been
love
hooping,
you.
bro.
You've been
I've
live.
been hooping, bro. What I had dropped like 24 the other night.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. I mean,
And also, can I say the Mavs fans look super excited in that arena,
They did.
right? I don't know. They didn't look mad to me.
It looked more delusion rather than, just trying to forget the fact that they just traded away their 25-year-old superstar.
Maybe.
But like,
but they looked like they already forgot about Luka. That's what it looked like to me.
it's like kind of like PTSD. They'll think about it sometimes.
Yeah.
It'll be nostalgic.
Yeah.
But yeah, Max Christie, I was gonna say, off the bench has been doing really good.
Yeah.
So like it's working out besides AD right now for them.
I think if Max Christie and AD play very well, the Mavs, let's say they go to the finals and they win again, I think they will completely forget about this ever happening.
bro, if they winning the finals is
No,
crazy.
go to the finals.
They
now.
look good, man. If AD's healthy and Max Christie's balling like this, the Mavs are a good team already without them, and you add them, this is a contender.
The problem is this team is not healthy right now.
Okay.
Well, yeah.
When they're healthy.
That's an if right now because we don't know what's going on with Anthony Davis.
Oh.
Derek Lively's out for at least 3 months. So,
But when he's back, it's going to be crazy.
right.
Because
When
80
they're
plays
all
the 4, Lively at the 5, Gafford off the bench. This team is deep.
It could
man.
be good, but where's your 33 points a game? It's nowhere to be found.
Oh, come on.
Kyrie
AD
and
can pick that up.
AD.
Yeah, but that's not.
Kyrie's going to step up
It's
because
not
he's
a-
going to have the ball in his hands a lot more.
He played like ass the other night.
He didn't play good, but you don't expect that every night from Kyrie. You expect him
Right.
to play good, and he's gonna have the ball in his hands a lot more. 80's gonna get his. They'll be fine.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Speaking of Kyrie, he was just named the replacement for Anthony Davis in the All-Star game.
Oh wow!
So,
Congrats.
I
big up,
think
congrats to Kyrie.
That's
Wait,
worthy.
wasn't there one guy that deserved it over him?
Norman Powell.
Oh, not
Norman
yes.
Powell.
Yeah.
They should have given it to Norm.
So they gave it to Norman Powell. They gave it to Kyrie Irving, and then Trae Young is replacing Giannis.
That's perfect.
I
So
wanted LaMelo to replace him, though.
No, but Trey was second in line. We said Trey.
No, I said LaMelo.
LaMelo should have gotten in, but Trey deserves it. He got snubbed so bad last
Yeah,
year.
bro.
That's fine. Well, we'll see then. But could be more injuries for Norm and for LaMelo.
That's
see.
true. Yeah. Or Sabonis.
Or Sabonis.
But we'll talk more about the
I like
All-Star.
Sabonis. We'll talk about Sabonis.
We'll talk more about the All-Star game later. But yeah, I mean, we'll just have to see with the Mavs. I really don't know at this point. I think it's all a lot of ifs. But to me, it really, like, they would need to be an insane dynasty to forgive Nico Harrison about the Luka trade.
Yeah.
Because it's they would need the amount of championships they would have to win to kind of reclaim that would be insane. And it's just not realistic in this modern NBA with the new CBA and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
basically, screw Nico Harrison every single time his name pops up. Slander anytime you want. I really don't care because I lost all respect for that man after I gave him credit all summer. Crazy. You built the perfect team around Luka and you decided, nah, he's not good enough. Let's just get him out of here. Wild. But do we have any final thoughts regarding AD, Luka, and the Mavs? We move on to the next segment.
No, let's move on. Let's stay in LA. Let's cover Ben.
Ben Simmons is off my basketball team. Let's go. Huge W. My man was eating $41 million of our cap this year.
Yeah, he was getting fat.
He was looking like a drip lord on the sideline as per usual. Yeah. But look, I'll give Ben credit. This was the first year he actually started to look more like himself. He wasn't sitting out as many games. He was actually playing decent minutes, and he actually looked more explosive on both ends of the floor, which was something we haven't seen from Ben in at least 4 or 5 years. After the trade deadline, the Nets bought him out, and as a free agent, he met with the Cavs, the Rockets, and the Clippers. And he decided to sign with the Los Angeles Clippers.
That was probably like the least. I think if I would rank it for just championship potential, I think Cavs, Rockets, Clippers. And he went to the last team on my list.
I think because his role is going to be more prominent in LA.
Well, yeah, the
Because
Cavs, yeah.
The Cavs, like, I don't really see the minutes for him.
Even the Rockets, too.
The Rockets just have too much depth. I think the Clippers was honestly the best spot possible for him. And it's kind of this is a crazy circle moment for James Harden because he was traded for Ben Simmons, then he was traded for Nick Batum, and now they're all teammates.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Well,
So it's kind of crazy.
All right. That's the NBA we live in today.
It's a small world,
listen,
man.
good for Ben. Let's hope something comes of him in LA. Maybe he loves the lifestyle there.
Isn't he from LA?
He went to LSU.
No, I think
I think he might be from the area.
He might
he
be. I think
he went to
maybe.
LSU, but I think he
The
like
LA suburbs area.
yeah, I think he like moved there. He went to because they went to school in Florida, or it was Montverde in California.
Montverde's in California.
It's in California, so yeah, he is from LA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Oh, yeah.
good for Ben, man.
Yeah.
I'm actually excited to see what he can do next to Kawhi. That's gonna be cool,
That would be kind of crazy.
When healthy.
Because on defense, those two can be a problem.
bro. Imagine this Clippers team 6 years ago,
Oh,
bro.
Yeah, exactly.
that's a championship team.
Bro, prime Kawhi, prime Ben Simmons, MVP James Harden. Good lord, like that would have been insane.
That's a team right there.
But I think this is Ben's last chance. I think if he stinks up the joint in LA, he's never playing in the NBA
yeah,
again.
then he's done. I agree with that.
So hopefully he can reclaim something. And I was telling Antoine earlier, I had a viral tweet the other day because Legion Hoops had posted Ben Simmons' final stat lines from his Nets career. He averaged 6 points a game, 6 assists a game, 6 rebounds a game.
Wow.
And I said, bro, averaged the triple devil, and it got like 20,000 likes.
Yo, that's kind of funny.
In it, yeah.
Yo, you punny, bro.
In it, thanks, bro. Appreciate it.
Funny.
But yeah, I want to know y'all's thoughts real quick before we move on. Just what are you excited to see with this Ben Simmons next era in the Clippers?
There's no excitement.
It's got to be something.
I don't know. I mean, just if he comes back to some form of relevancy for playing basketball, I think that's the big step forward.
Yeah.
Like decent minutes. I know he's going to be a backup probably for sure.
Oh yeah.
And I know the Clippers bench is kind of depleted now because they got rid of Bones Highland and Terrence Mann.
So he'll get some minutes.
So he'll get minutes exactly. And they got Bogdan as well. We'll get into that later.
Yeah.
But Ben is a big body, and I know their backup center is Drew Eubanks.
Yeah, they just traded for him.
It's not really like
What if Ben plays center?
anything movable.
I mean,
for them.
the thing is, we played Ben at the 5, and that's when he got hurt. And he said himself in a pod he didn't like playing the 5.
So he's weak.
Yeah, I would say
He is, yeah.
he's the backup to Kawhi.
I mean, bro's had 3
probably,
back
like-
surgeries. Like, what do you want
Yeah,
him to do?
I guess.
Yeah.
But listen, here's what I got to say. LeBron James, watch out. Ben Simmons, It has arrived.
Bro, remember when he was being touted as the next LeBron?
Yes, bro. Do you remember the
crazy.
Colin Cowherd?
To be fair, I did see it. How
did you see that?
Bro, if you
He
look,
was really
bro,
good.
I never saw
if
that.
you looked at his build and the way he was moving, the way he was so explosive,
Right.
If he just even got a half decent mid range,
Yes.
you could have made an easy argument for
I'm sorry,
it.
bro.
Yes.
That's still one of the most insane takes I've ever heard in my life. Probably the most insane
Look,
take.
I'm not saying he was going to be as good as LeBron, but he played like LeBron.
Colin Cowherd said the year before Ben fell off, he said, LeBron James, watch out.
If he developed a shot and did not go through all of that mental,
And the back.
physical things, he
Yeah.
would have been perfectly fine.
One thing I will say, in his prime, he was a better defender.
Yeah.
No, I
Bro.
disagree.
I
Bron,
think-
in his prime, was a better defender than Ben Simmons in his prime.
At the
Any
point
day.
of attack?
Any day.
On the
I'm taking Bron any
On the perimeter.
day.
LeBron on the perimeter.
Any day.
I think
Bron in Miami? Are you kidding me? I'm taking Bron any day. He can
Okay.
pick up anyone at half court.
Okay, fair
Full
enough.
court.
Fair
think,
enough.
yeah, I would think I
don't know.
Yeah.
I think
Bron, when he cared about defense in Miami, oh my goodness.
how many
it was
years
Scary.
how many years did he care about defense?
But,
his
bro,
early
look, all I
career.
gotta say is, remember when everyone was like D-Rose, D-Rose, D-Rose? Bron clamped up, bro. Like it was nothing.
It always goes back to Russ.
Why
It
is it
always
like-
goes back to Russ.
I'm not talking about Russ.
Yeah, but you're shitting on D-Rose, so you
Does-
could pop
does-
up
does-
Russ
does-
again.
But that was a rivalry at that point.
It
2011 Bulls, 2011 Heat.
Yeah.
Bron was like,
Okay.
I'm guarding D-Rose and clamped him up. He didn't
Well, I
even
mean,
score.
6'9" guarding 6'1". Like,
Yeah, but
Yeah, it's
you know,
not a lot to work with.
but you know, the little guys are supposed to be quicker, right? But Bron is a freak of nature.
yeah, like
Well,
LeBron is the ultimate NBA anomaly.
That's what I'm saying. He's
Like,
a better defender. in
My
his
man
prime.
is
That's
my
what I'm
man
saying.
is an 80-year-old jacked Superman.
Yeah.
Like he's insane. But
I don't know.
We should make a poll on the YouTube.
On the YouTube
Who's a
community
better
page.
prime defender? LeBron
better?
2011,
Okay, yeah,
Ben
well-
Simmons 20. I don't know what year.
What year was he finals for DPO? Was it 2020?
Really?
Yes.
2020?
Yeah, I think it was.
Okay.
Yeah,
So I bet you would have given it to him over Rudy.
Ooh.
Who, Ben Simmons?
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, Ben Simmons was second in the
Oh,
the
yeah.
DPOI race.
I would have given it to Ben
So
Stop it.
for sure.
okay.
Let's move.
But so yeah, that's essentially the Ben thing. We'll see what happens. I mean, the Clippers are overperforming expectations.
Yeah, they are.
We'll see if they could keep this going. They're currently, I think, 6th in the West right now.
Yeah.
And yeah, that should be that. So anything else to say before we get into my team spotlight?
Let's go.
Let's do it. All right, into the next segment, guys. It's time for the spot. It's the spot. I'm going to redo that actually. All right, we ready to go?
Let's do it.
All right. All right, into the next segment, guys. No player spotlight this week. Instead, we're going to be talking about a team. So basically, my spotlight segment is essentially talking about someone either underratedly playing really good or absolutely playing awful and no one's talking about it. Today, however, there were so many players I could have chosen and I just really couldn't bother doing it. So instead, I chose a team. And we're going to talk about the hottest team in the NBA right now. A team that no one expected to be playing this good, especially at this point in the season. And we're going to be talking about the Portland Trailblazers. That's right. The Portland Trailblazers are the hottest team in the NBA. That's shocking, right?
It is.
It's crazy.
Chauncey's coaching it up.
They've won 10 of their last 12 games. 10 of their last 12. The Portland Trailblazers in 2025. Nuts. It's wild. So let's talk about the Portland Trailblazers, man. I mean, they have the 7th most wins versus teams over 500 this season. More than the New York Knicks, by the way. The contenders. Since January 19th, when they started this whole stretch of big games, they have the most wins in the NBA. They have the best record in the NBA. They're 13th in offensive rating at 115.2. They're first in defense. First in defense, the Portland Trailblazers. A team made of
Hello?
complete cones last season, which leads them in the 5th spot in the NBA in net rating at 9.9. Remember that number, 9.9 in net rating, positive 9.9. I did some digging. I looked at the stats before that. So from January 18th back to opening night, the Blazers were 27th in offense. They were 28th in defense. They were second bottom and 29th in net rating. Remember when I said 9.9 now? It was negative 9.1. They have completely flipped the switch. Yeah. Chauncey Billups finally figured out how to coach a basketball team, and it looks beautiful. Yeah. It's amazing. We saw this a few weeks ago. We talked about Scoot Henderson on my player spotlight. He's starting to hoop. Now the entire team's starting to follow suit because really it's only been Shaedon Sharpe and Anthony Simons kind of carrying the load. But we're seeing contributions from all across the board. I mean, Donovan Clingan is 4th in the NBA in rim protection. And do you realize the presence he's in with that? Like you're looking at Wemby, you're looking at Jared Allen, you're looking at Giannis, like Mobley, you're looking at some of the best defenders in the league.
Impressive.
And you got a rookie that just won back-to-back national championships, looking to kind of make a statement in the NBA because, we didn't really know where he would get drafted. Some people had him going first. Some people had him going 12th. He wound up going somewhere in the middle of that. I don't remember where exactly. But I'm really enjoying what I'm seeing from the Portland Trailblazers. Also, by the way, in this stretch of 12 games, they're doing this as one of the slowest teams in the NBA. They're 27th in pace. And before that, they were in like the 15th or 14th spot. So maybe speed does kill.
Interesting.
Which is interesting. You don't really see a lot of teams outside of Denver really cook with slow pace.
Wait, Denver's slow pace?
Yeah, I mean, Jokic slows the pace down a lot.
I would have thought Denver's, I don't know.
Teams like let me go look at the pace leaders right now because it's hard to explain.
Yeah, that would be a cool stat to see. What about the Pacers? Would they be like a fast paced or slow?
I'm looking right now. So as far as pace goes in the NBA, the Memphis Grizzlies are leading the league in pace, followed by the Atlanta Hawks, the Chicago Bulls, the Wizards. The Nuggets are actually 5th.
Okay.
So
I thought so.
They've gotten a lot better. I think Russ kind of adds to that. I remember during the championship year, the Nuggets weren't that fast. They slowed the game down a lot. So it's quite interesting to see. The Pacers are in the top 6. The Nets are 30th.
So wait, read me the bottom 5 teams. Read me the top 5 teams. I want to see who's
All right,
up
so
there.
top 5 in pace: Grizzlies 1, Hawks 2, Bulls 3, Wizards 4, Nuggets 5.
Okay.
Bottom 5, you have Wolves 6, Wolves 26, Heat 27, Philly 28, Orlando 29, Brooklyn 30th.
Okay.
So, yeah, pace is a very randomized
So there's no
stat.
correlation. Like if you have high pace, it doesn't necessarily mean.
Well, it does in
wins.
the sense of a team that's really fast and a team that kind of pushes the pace can really overwhelm you.
Right.
And some teams that doesn't really work. It leads to a lot of rust shots, fast break layups that brick.
Yeah.
And teams that are slower, they get into their sets. They're able to kind of do what they do, like Orlando, for example.
Right.
Orlando's able to kind of slow it down with Paolo and Franz, and they can kind of just work down low in the paint.
So where does Portland rank on this list here?
So Portland in the past 12 games, they're 27th in pace.
In the past 12 games.
Yes.
So they've lowered
Yes.
their pace, and they've had much success. Okay.
If we're looking obviously, if we're looking at the season as a whole, Portland is 19th.
Okay.
So, yeah, pace is a very interesting metric. It doesn't really mean much, but it also does tell a big story as to kind of how the offense is operating.
100%. And I think the fact that the pace is slowed down, that tells me a lot about what Chauncey's doing.
Yeah.
Right? So it looks like he finally had an idea. If something clicked to where he sees like where his players have the most success.
Yeah.
And he's like, all right, we got to slow the pace down. And that must have led to their, recent success. 10 wins in the past 12 games.
It's unheard of.
Yeah.
Like, even in the Dame days, they weren't even that good after the conference finals appearance. Like, they were just a team that's been drowning in purgatory.
Yeah.
But I think Chauncey's finally getting a glimpse of just his guys starting to develop and kind of find their footing. Like, we're seeing really good games out of Ayton.
Yeah.
A guy that's just, he's soft.
He's good.
He's a good player. He just needs that drive.
Yeah.
I said this in a short, like if DeAndre Ayton wanted it more than everybody else, he would be like the best big of all time.
I don't know about that.
It's an exaggeration.
Okay.
But like bro would conquer the entire sport if he just wanted it more because he's so talented.
He is.
He's 7 foot. He's a big body. He can shoot.
He can move.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's the Caribbeans, man.
Yeah.
They're different. They're
really
built different.
They really are.
And you look at the roster across the board. Like Donovan Clingan's got huge upside. We all know what Shaedon Sharpe can do. Scoot Henderson finally looks somewhat like an NBA player again.
Like a second overall pick.
Yeah, like this team looks good, and I like the veteran presence they have alongside these guys, like Matisse Thybulle, Robert Williams. Like they're huge for these guys.
Jeremy Grant.
Jeremy Grant is another one. Like Jeremy Grant I'm surprised he's still on the team, by the way.
Right.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
what are your thoughts, Antoine? I know you love these stinky teams.
Oh, I mean, Another team that has immense depth. Matisse hasn't played a lot this year, actually.
He's been hurt.
Yeah.
But like I said, veteran presence. He's good
Yeah.
to kind of like mentor these guys.
Listen, we were talking about them moving on from like 3 or 4 guys in the trade deadline because the value for them was pretty good. And I guess the GM for Trailblazers, whoever that is,
Joe Cronin.
Joe Cronin.
The man that bitched the Miami Heat.
And I guess they came to a probably more recent consensus that, all right,
Something's
it's working
here. Yeah.
Something's cooking.
Let's not break this up.
Yeah.
And I kind of agree because this core on paper is a pretty interesting core. You have a lot of young guys, of course, mixed in with Rob Will, Ayton, Jeremy Grant, Denny Avdia as well. Don't forget about him. And, they're just clicking. You have some guys on the bench that also could prove it more valuable to some certain teams. Like we were talking about Duop Reith, he's still there.
Yep.
Other guys too. I got an itchy nose. Oh my god. But listen, this is reminding me of like a younger, more developing team like Houston. Like Houston's found their footing with their depth.
Okay.
And Portland is the same, but they still have a mountain to climb. I.e., they need a star or two. And if Anthony Simons or Shaden Sharp or Scoot Henderson or Klingon can fill those, because we know Grant and Ayton are like your prominent role players, or could be like really good anyway.
Yeah.
Even Denny Avdia could hop into that conversation. But any of those 5 names, if they take the next step, whether it's the rest of this year, including next year, Shaden Sharp's finally healthy. We've been waiting for that for a long time. Then I think they'll be on their way up. I think the young guys, they have so much potential, and breaking them up, not breaking them up, I think shows their trust from the front office and also from Chauncey.
Absolutely. I was going to say
that's
Chauncey,
a big thing.
Chauncey definitely played a big role in keeping this group together for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
100%, so.
I think really I think also maybe Portland's kind of looking at the draft and thinking like, I think they're still going to try and tank because they're still 13th in the West. Like they're not making the playoffs.
Right.
Yeah.
They could get into the play-in if they keep playing like this. But like, if you're thinking about it, like who outside of Cooper Flagg is realistically going to slot in? I guess if you get one of the point guards, like if you get one of the guards, if you get Dylan Harper, or if you get VJ Edgecombe, that could be huge. But like, I don't know what Portland's mindset is right now. I don't really know because this is hurting their lottery odds. They're climbing up the standings right now.
Yeah.
I don't think they care about that right now.
I don't think
Chauncey
so.
wants to keep his job.
I think their core is perfect the way it is because you have young guys that still have yet to blossom into their peak.
It's still not good enough though. Like I still think someone like VJ Edgecombe has higher upside than everyone on that roster. Like he's going to be nuts. And obviously we know Cooper Flagg and his Cooper Flagg is the best player in this draft class. You're looking at Ace Bailey, you're looking at Dylan Harper. Like these are the main 4 guys in the class that we know are going to come NBA ready, and they're going to slot into any starting spot on any team most likely.
I would say the one positive for this, if they're going on this trajectory for the rest of the season and maintain like a close to 500 standing or a little lesser, of a percentage, their assets could be easily traded in the offseason because, Klingon's their franchise center. They can move off Ayton anytime they want.
Right.
Jeremy Grant, same conversation there. Rob Will. And you could easily replenish picks and still have a high draft pick depending on how the lottery works.
Right. Let me check their odds right now.
So on and so forth. So, I don't know. It's interesting.
They currently have the 9th best odds right now. Okay. So it's not really like, and they do have they have the 11th hardest remaining strength of schedule. So
we don't expect this to continue.
But this is a top 7 team against 500 teams. Like,
True.
Like if you look at the teams they've beaten throughout like the past 12 games, they obviously beat Chicago, Miami, Orlando. They only lost to OKC by 10. They beat Milwaukee. They beat Phoenix twice. They beat Indiana, and they beat Sacramento. A Sacramento team that's been really good as of late.
Right.
So
I'm not holding Phoenix into a high account right now.
I mean, you'd expect the team with Kevin Durant on the roster to beat the Portland Trailblazers, no?
Yeah. But was he not playing or was he playing?
I don't think he played in the second game,
Yeah,
but I'm not too sure. But because they played at the beginning of the month.
Okay.
But they have a back-to-back against Denver, so we'll see what happens with that. And then they still have to play the Lakers. You got to play the Celtics and the Cavs still. So we shall see. It's a very interesting schedule they have left. But I'm just really happy that the Blazers are starting to cook. So it makes me happy, considering I have family ties to that franchise. Shout out Sherry Hansen. But yeah, well, hopefully they do good in the lottery. That's really what I want to see. I want to see Brooklyn get the first pick. I want to see Portland get the second pick.
Really?
And I don't really care what happens to the rest of the class. Like, I want Cooper Flag where he belongs, and then Portland can pick and choose whoever they want to pair up with Shaedon Sharpe and Anthony Simons and Scoot Henderson.
Okay.
So that's essentially the gist with the Portland Trailblazers. I'm not really going to ask ceiling because we know they're not making the playoffs, and if they do, we'll hold our hands up and and apologize.
Yeah.
But there's I think a major gap between them and the 6th seed, so they'd have to get out of the play-in.
Yeah.
Okay.
But any other final thoughts before we get on to the next segment? All right, Let's move on. All right, into the next segment, guys. It's time to talk about the All-Star game again. Obviously, I think last week we talked about the reserves, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
We saw the draft on Thursday night between Shaq, Kenny, and Chuck, which is pretty storybook considering this is the last time they'll be doing this on TNT, even though they'll have ESPN coverage and whatnot next year. So we're going to talk about the teams and everything associated with that. So Antoine, we're going to put these on the screen, by the way. So you can see our other overlay right now. Antoine, tell us the teams. I guess we'll go one by one, each team. So start with Shaq.
Yes, Shaq is first. So Shaq drafted
number 1 overall.
LeBron was first, followed by Steph Curry, then Anthony Davis, Jason Tatum, Kevin Durant, Damian Lillard, James Harden, and closed it off with Jaylen Brown. So LeBron, Steph, LeBron, Steph, Tatum, Durant will be starting. Those are the noted starters.
Well, no, it's just, it doesn't matter who's starting. Those are just the starters.
Oh, really?
Because you're only allowed a max of 4 starters.
Oh, so they don't start.
They were just, because the starters are players that get in from fan vote. And the media vote and everything like that.
All right, never mind. So I forget what I said.
Yeah.
Like we said before, Anthony Davis is getting replaced by his teammate Kyrie Irving.
Yeah, it still just sounds so wild, bro.
So they don't have any centers on the team anymore, which is interesting.
Kevin Durant, small ball 5.
Yeah. Let's go on to Team Kenny. So very interesting team for Kenny, I must say. Anthony Edwards was first, followed by Jalen Brunson, Triple J, then J-Dub, then Darius Garland, followed by Evan Mobley, Cade Cunningham, and then close it off with Tyler Hero.
Whose team is that?
Kenny Smith.
Kenny.
I'm sorry, Kenny.
That is a young gun lineup.
Bro, you're telling me in the second round, out of all those young players, you took Jalen Brunson?
He's a point guard.
Doesn't matter. I would take Cade Cunningham before Jalen Brunson.
Nah.
No.
Yeah, I would.
No.
Nah.
Cade Cunningham doesn't need to flop his way to points.
I was concerned why he took Anthony Edwards second. Jokic was still there.
Really?
Yes.
You had Jokic, you had Giannis, you had Wemby, you had SGA, you had Curry.
He took Anthony Edwards second.
So,
I guess he just wants to flash.
I'll give you my reasonings as to why I think he did that after he reads off Chuck's team.
Oh, I'm ready for this team?
Go for it.
This is a God squad, literally. So Charles Barkley, of course, took Jokic because it fell right into his lap. Then he took Giannis, SGA, Wemby, Pascal Siakam.
Wait, hold on, pause. That's all international players. But keep going.
Exactly. Yeah.
Pascal Siakam, Alperen Şengün, Kat, and Donovan Mitchell. And Giannis, we all know, is injured. Trae Young is going to be replacing Giannis.
Okay.
So they finally at least have another guard on the roster now.
Right.
Because it's literally SGA and Donovan Mitchell about to play like 50 minutes.
But I think we all know who the winner is
Oh, it's clearly Chuck's team.
in this draft.
My man put on an absolute clinic.
Yeah, he did.
But this, I'll be honest. I'll be the guy that says it. This draft was 100% scripted.
Was it?
Bro, Shaq has all the old heads.
Yeah.
Kenny has all the young all-stars.
Yeah.
And Chuck has all the international players.
True.
I love the way Chuck
okay.
drafted the guys. He was like, I need some French pastries. I'll go with Victor Wembanyama.
Wait, but the counter for Shaq, Tatum and Brown are young guys.
Yeah, but I mean, there's
majority. He's
not.
talking
Yeah,
about
majority.
majority.
Like Shaq's theme was old and legendary.
Brown, Steph. Who else was it? KD.
KD, AD, Dame Lillard, James
Kyrie.
Harden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and then when he drafted Siakam, he's like, I need some African delight.
Yeah.
I need some. He said, I need some Houston delight.
Yo, this
without
is
Prince.
Charles
And then
Barkley, bro.
he drafted Kat and Donovan Mitchell because Kat's mother is Dominican and Donovan Mitchell's mother is from Panama.
Yeah.
Huh.
So
Chuck is also.
I don't know if Trae Young has any roots to any international countries, but he's got Trae Young now on the roster. I don't know if that
Interesting.
fits in with the international theme. But
I think he might just be mixed.
to me, this felt very scripted in the sense of, because I mean, there's no way Victor Wembanyama should fall. There's no way SGA should fall to the third round. So to me, this felt scripted in the sense of this is going to either turn into U.S. versus the world starting from next year, or they might just keep it like, rising stars, old players, and the internationals.
I don't know. It's interesting. I see Tyler's agenda from this draft. Clearly, the young guys are all on Kenny's team besides Jalen Brunson. You can still count him as young.
I
Why'd you
don't
say
think I
on your
would.
phone? Okay, relax.
Isn't Jalen Brunson like 28?
He's the oldest player on that team, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Unless they did this draft before airing it and they had, because looking at the TV, it looks like they already had everything written down.
Yeah.
They weren't like crossing off names, like they were doing it live in action.
The only thing that wasn't planned was the final round because Kenny and Shaq both wanted Tyler Hero.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know. I like the idea. It's fun, but I think these teams, Chuck's team is the overpowered team.
Overpowered.
I think it's going to be fun, though.
It will be fun.
Because you're going to see the old guys kind of like a blast from the past. I think the young guys are going to play hard, and the internationals just have aura in it. It's just like,
Yeah.
I hope they win. And we have no clue whatever team wins the Rising Stars will
Yes.
be that fourth team.
Yeah.
So we'll see which team they play. My guess is they'll probably play the young guns. That way they guarantee a young versus older final.
Yeah.
This is going to be fun.
I'm
I'm actually
looking
excited to
forward
watch
it.
the All-Star game
It's
for the
this
first
weekend.
time in a long time.
This weekend.
I know.
Oh,
So,
it is?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I forgot the
So,
dates.
I actually have a dog in this fight. Cam Johnson's going to be in the 3-point contest.
Oh, wow.
So,
Jalen Brunson's going to be in the 3-point contest as well.
Oh, bro. One of the Nets pages posted, I'll put the tweet on the screen. It said Jalen Brunson when he gets to his money ball rack. And it was the picture of him doing that foul baiting 3 against the Pacers in the playoffs.
Let's see. If he wins that 3-point contest, what are we going to say?
I'm not really going to say anything.
You won it.
Because a Net has a more recent W in that competition. Because Cat was a member of the Wolves when he won it. So I can't count that.
Oh, that's true.
So, but yeah, I mean, I'm excited for it. I think it's going to be fun. Sucks that we won't get to see AD or Giannis.
Yeah.
Because,
Yeah.
I mean, Giannis definitely tries hard in that All-Star game.
Oh, definitely.
But we'll just have to see. We were robbed of one final chance of LeBron and AD playing together.
Yeah, I was surprised that, Shaq took him, but I was like, all right.
There's no beef.
No, there's no beef.
Yeah, they're best friends.
Yeah.
So it's not like there's any animosity towards each other or anything
Yeah,
like that.
right.
But it's crazy. So we'll see.
Yeah.
I mean, any early shouts on who he think's winning?
Team Chuck.
I don't know, man.
Shock.
I
You never
think
know.
Shaq's team, I think they might pull it out with the experience. I think that's why he took Braun first overall because he doesn't seem to lose in the All-Star game.
Yeah.
That's fair.
His team
guess.
always
Fair to
seems
say.
to come out on top.
Most of the time, although he has lost a few times. But
Yeah.
I gotta back Team Chuck. I mean, you have like 6 of the top 7 players in the world on one team. Like Jokic, Giannis, SG. Well, Giannis isn't playing anymore, but Jokic, SGA, Wemby. Like that's nuts. So
But the best team doesn't always win. You guys are
Exactly.
the
True.
best team. I'll give it to
Yeah,
you.
that's true.
Best team
Exactly.
doesn't always win. Sometimes
Yeah.
the team with the best leader, and that's LeBron James.
Also, it depends who's going to try.
that's also very true.
And so
That's
the
the
young
thing.
guys can actually come out.
So
That's the thing.
I swear, if Anthony Edwards just starts shooting with his left hand again, I'm gonna lose my mind.
Yeah. I think the young guns would probably be more apt to try harder.
Yeah.
Make a statement, try and like
Yeah.
bring life back to the All-Star game.
Yeah.
I hope they do that.
They should, but we'll see. I mean, we really don't know. We don't have any proof of concept of this.
we don't.
We just have the Rising Stars game, but all those guys try hard anyways.
Yeah.
So, well, we hope you all enjoyed the All-Star weekend this week.
Yeah.
Got everything going down. We all know the dunk contest is going to suck again.
Is Mac McClung
Yes.
in there? Oh my
Yes.
gosh. They just dragged him in there.
Yeah,
Yes.
they basically did. They had to. They have no other option.
Yeah.
So, but I think Stephon Castle's going to be good in the dunk
I think
contest.
Stephon
Okay, yeah, he will
Castle's
be.
going to
He will
light
be.
it up.
So
Crazy.
we'll just have to see. But to me, I won't take the dunk contest seriously until they put Shaden Sharp in there, because that would be cinema.
Yes.
But any other final thoughts regarding the All-Star rosters before we get into the main segment?
Let's move.
Let's do it. All right, into the main segment, guys. We're going to close off the show with the main part of the show. As you can tell by the title and thumbnail, we're going to be grading every trade from the 2025 trade deadline. And by that, we're going to grade the top. It was supposed to be the top 12, but, the Hornets kind of fucked that up. We were going to put the Mark Williams trade in here. But we have 11 trades from the trade deadline, from the biggest to the smallest. Basically, trades that actually made impact on rosters. So none of those trades where it's like Daniel Tice getting moved and then waived or anything like that. So we just have just an amalgamation of these trades. And we're just going to go through the ones that we already talked about. We'll just kind of quickly brief it, give our grade. And for ones that we haven't talked about, we're going to talk about it for a few minutes, break it down, and then we'll grade them. So do we have any questions, comments, concerns before we get started?
Let's start.
All right. Also, let us know in the comments down below what you guys would grade some of these trades. Let us know your thoughts because we would like some feedback on this.
Yeah.
So, obviously, we're going to start with the elephant in the room. We're going to start with the Luka Doncic trade, the day Nico Harrison became the dumbest human being on planet Earth. So, obviously, all these are on the screen. So, I'll just kind of recap each trade just for the people on Spotify and everything like that. So, we'll start with the Luka Doncic trade. The Los Angeles Lakers received Luka Doncic, Maxi Kleber, and Markieff Morris. The Dallas Mavericks received Anthony Davis, Max Christie, and a 2029 first-round pick. And the Utah Jazz received Jalen Hood-Schifino and 2 second-round picks. So,
Oof. Okay. I think we already did this. This is an A for the Lakers.
Yeah.
Mavs, Max Christie looks great. Still an F. Jazz, they waived Jalen Hood-Schifino, actually. So they just got 2 second-round picks.
yeah.
So not a lose there for them at all.
So would you give the Jazz?
An A. They get 2 second-round
Okay,
picks.
fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would still give the Lakers an A+ on this move because, you could make moves for centers later on in the offseason. It obviously would have looked better right now if you did have Mark Williams.
Yes.
But, I mean, a 25-year-old top 3 player in the world just fell into your lap.
Right.
How do you not get an A+ on this move? The Mavs, like I said, it's an F+. I would give them an F-. But
You gave them a Z before.
Oh, you're right. Wait, I'm sorry. I'm thinking of the wrong trade.
Yeah.
I am going to give the Mavs a Z.
Yeah.
Because it's inherently stupid that Nico Harrison decided, yeah, you know what? That sounds like a great idea. So I give them a Z. Since you waived Hood-Schifino, I'm going to lower my grade for the Jazz from an A to a B+.
Okay.
So what about you, Gio?
Yeah, so I'll go ahead and give the Lakers an A. I'll agree with you guys.
Yeah.
You got a 25-year-old GOAT, right? So that's pretty good.
Hey, he honestly could. He has the ceiling now that he's on the Lakers.
100%.
He does. He definitely does. Okay, but now for the Mavericks, I'm gonna give them a C.
What'd you give them
that's
last time?
unpopular. I think I gave them the
You
C
gave
last
him
time.
an F minus.
No, I didn't. Did I?
No, he said
F+.
He said the Mavs won the trade right
I think
now.
you gave
I
him an
did.
F plus.
I said that before, like a week
I think
ago.
he gave them an F for the. He gave them an F for the future. He gave him a C for the now.
Oh, did I?
But does the AD injury change this now?
No, because the AD injury is very minor. He'll be back in 2 weeks, according to my calculations.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Dr.
Definitely.
Gio.
So I still think he's probably. I'm not a doctor, not yet.
Well, you're Max Christie. You know AD very well.
Dr.
He told,
Christie.
I do. We have a
he
good
told you
relationship.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
We have a good relationship. So yeah, I'll give this one a C. I do expect them to do big things in the playoffs if they're healthy. That's a big if because Davis tends to get hurt.
Are they
But-
your finals pick?
I'm not going to go ahead and say that.
Okay.
I'm going to hold that off.
Okay.
But I do expect them to do good things in the playoffs. So I'll give them a C. And then the Jazz, I don't even know what to give them. I guess they're B+. I'll
Yeah,
just
they're
throw
just-
B+ on them.
I feel bad. You got to feel bad for the Jazz. I mean, they were unknowingly roped into this trade.
Yes.
And now Luka's going to start his Lakers career absolutely frying that that defense, even though the Jazz are not trying to win. So
Yeah.
quite interesting. I'm
Yeah.
curious to see who the Jazz wind up with in the lottery this year because they
Oh.
will be in the mix because they are
100%.
garbage. But I mean, no.
Yes.
To be
I would
fair,
hate-
actually, I would not hate that.
Really?
Because I mean, bro, if you have a front court of Cooper Flagg, Larry Markkinen, and Walker Kessler, my God,
Yeah.
it's insane.
You're the biggest 3 white guys in the room.
Yeah, literally. No, I
Take
swear,
over.
if the Jazz get a top 3 pick, they better start fucking competing.
Yeah.
They better.
Yeah, they have so many good guys.
This roster's too good to not.
Yeah.
They're not trying. As Danny Ainge playing the long game, he wants to wait
Past
till all
2,
these
3
teams.
seasons now?
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't even move John Collins or Sexton.
Think
or
about what Danny Ainge
Clarkson.
did in Boston. The Celtics took like 3 years of tanking.
They did.
And then they eventually started winning, and then they got the Nets pick when they got Brown and Tatum, and then they started playing like really good.
All right, so it's almost time. Ainge, let's go.
Yeah, I think this is heavily predicated on the Jazz getting a top 3 pick this year.
Yeah.
Because you need someone else to kind of pair along with Markkanen now that he's going to be there.
Right.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But any final thoughts on the dumbest trade in NBA history?
No.
This will go down as the worst. I'm so confident of that.
I don't know, man.
I think we'll have to wait and see. Someone may
look,
top this.
I'm not going to make an absolute statement like that. We never know.
All right, let's say the Mavs win 1 championship with this core, and the Lakers 3-peat.
Oh, then
Luka
they lose.
becomes-
Well, that's a
top.
huge if, bro.
Look, the Lakers have the world is their oyster right now with Luka Doncic on the roster.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
we'll have to see.
We will.
So
We will see.
Yeah.
I'm not going to make an absolute statement. We'll see.
okay, fuck Nico Harrison. Now let's move on to the next trade. So we're going to move on to the next biggest trade of the season, and it's the De'Aaron Fox to San Antonio. So here's the full trade breakdown. The San Antonio Spurs received De'Aaron Fox and Jordan McLaughlin. The Sacramento Kings received Zach LaVine, Sidi Sissoko, 3 first-round picks, and 3 second-round picks. And the Chicago Bulls received Zach Collins, Kevin Huerter, Trey Jones, and their own 2025 first-round pick back. Those picks from Sacramento, by the way, was a Charlotte lottery protected, a Spurs pick in 2027, and the Wolves pick in 2031 from the Rob Dillingham trade.
Oof. Yeah. I think we said so. The Spurs not giving up anybody young core related, which is i.e. Castle, Vassell, Sohan, and getting Fox is a win. Levine is the only piece that goes from the Bulls. Keep in mind too.
Yeah.
Not even a piece from the Spurs, a piece from the Bulls. And the Spurs trade their assets to the Bulls with Collins and Trey Jones and their first. Herders are throwing from the Kings, the lottery dump. Kings get 6 picks.
Salary dump.
Salary dump. Yeah, Herders a salary dump.
You said lottery.
Oh, I said lottery
Yeah.
dump? Okay.
You do got to
whatever.
give the Spurs credit. The Bulls credit though, because like they didn't really give anyone to San Antonio, but they got their own pick back from them.
Yeah.
Right.
That's big because they're going to be bad. We know that.
Right.
Sacramento getting 3 firsts, 3 seconds, of course, a big haul. But like Tyler said, those first-round picks are from teams that are going to be good by the time those picks happen or somewhat not good or somewhat mid. And Sidi Sissoko was waived.
Who even is him?
I had no idea.
He was when they drafted Wemby. He was the other French guy they drafted in the second round.
Oh.
And then he got traded, I think, to either Washington or Toronto,
Yeah,
and
they
they waived him.
And he's trash.
I was Washington because I know a Wizards fan posted the City Sissoko era starts tonight, and then 4 hours later he got waived. So,
Okay, I guess the main focus besides Fox is Levine. So Levine and DeMar are reunited. They look good right now.
they look okay.
Interesting, just dynamic they're trying to build. They made another trade. We'll get into that later on.
Yep.
But again, Spurs A, Kings I think C, knowing that those picks could be not so good, and Levine's old, and the Bulls. I don't know why they need those 3 guys. I would go probably D plus.
Yeah, I mean, from the Bulls' perspective, you're blowing it up. It would help to at least get something else back for Zach LaVine. But seeing what Sacramento got back, I think the Bulls came out with the best draft capital out of it. Because you get your own pick. You can tank in peace now this season.
Yeah.
And I mean, Zach Collins, Kevin Huerter, Trey Jones, they're not going to hurt your tank.
No.
I mean, they're going to play spot minutes here and there.
Yeah.
The Spurs obviously get an A+. Again, you get an all-star in De'Aaron Fox
Love that.
for like nothing. And you basically give up your second round pick that didn't amount to anything. And you only get off 1 first, a first that's really not going to matter in 2 years because the Spurs will be in like the top 4 in the West. So Spurs get an A+. The Kings give them a D. The only reason why it's not an F because at least you got Zach LaVine in the door. But for those that don't know, that Charlotte pick that is lottery protected is going to turn into 2 seconds in the 2026 draft, I think. Because it's just not going to convey.
Wait, which one's going to turn into 2 seconds?
The
most
Charlotte
recent
Hornets
one.
pick. So this year's 2025,
Gotcha.
it's lottery protected. So unless the
2
Hornets
seconds.
2 seconds.
Okay.
So unless the Hornets go on a 50-game win streak, that pick's not going to them.
Okay.
And then, like I said, the Spurs pick, they'll be good. So it'll be the late first-round pick. And then, do you really think the Wolves are going to be that bad in 2031? Either Ant's going to be in his prime, or they trade Ant in a few years and they get someone else in the door.
Exactly.
Right.
They're going to be good.
Exactly.
Yeah, 2031 is a long shot.
It's a very big risk. A lot can happen in 6 years.
Yeah.
But I give them a D. The Bulls, I give them like a B-. I I think it's turned out a lot better looking back on it now, considering they can now tank.
Right.
Because think about it this way: if the Bulls walk out of here with Cooper Flag, that's a huge win. But obviously, there's risk. There's risk played into that because obviously they could fall completely down the lottery and get like the 12th pick. Right. We don't know because they're like a borderline play-in team right now.
Yeah, so it's a toss-up at this point.
Exactly. I'll give them a B- because there's a lot of risk, but there's also a lot of safety.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty much in the same boat with you guys. I'm going to say the De'Aaron Fox to the Spurs is outstanding. A+, easily. I love the fit with De'Aaron and Wemby. I always knew, right? I'm going to be Anthony right now. I always knew this would be a good fit.
Yeah.
I really do think De'Aaron Fox looks really good in the Spurs jersey, though.
He does.
It just fits. And then the Kings, I'm just going to settle with the C. Because you never know what those picks can turn into. You just never know. So I'll give them a C. And then same thing with the Bulls. You never know what that first round pick can turn into, and it's in their hands. So
Right.
Yeah.
All right, not bad at all. Let's get into the next trade. So these are trades now we have not talked about.
Yeah.
So we'll take a few minutes on each one and kind of just decipher it. So let's get into the next one. It's the Jimmy Butler trade. This was a lot more complicated than it seemed. I'm really glad you can see what the trade is now. So obviously it is on the screen for y'all. I will break this down. Let me know if you need me to repeat it for both of y'all, and I gladly will. So here's the full trade. The Warriors received Jimmy Butler and 2 second-round picks. The Miami Heat receive Andrew Wiggins, Kyle Anderson, Davion Mitchell, and 1 first-round pick. The Utah Jazz receive Josh Richardson, Kenyon Martin Jr., and 2 second-round picks. The Detroit Pistons receive Nets legend Dennis Schroeder, Lindy Waters, and a second-round pick. And the Toronto Raptors receive PJ Tucker and 1 second-round pick. So a lot to unpack regarding this trade. Do we need any recaps? Are we good?
I think we're good.
Okay. If y'all watching at home need to repeat it, just double tap the left side of the screen and go back. But what do we think of this whole trade? Because I'm very confused.
Well, yeah, it's expanded to multiple teams as the deadline day went on. So I'm going to start off with the guys that just got nothing. Toronto, Utah, I guess picks. That's really what they got. I'll give him an A just because of picks.
Utah always finds himself in one.
They didn't move anybody notable. I guess Davion left to Toronto, but he wasn't playing there.
I mean, he was playing good for them.
He was.
That's why he took a chance on him.
I actually like Davion.
I think if you need a team to facilitate a trade, call up Charlotte and call up Utah. They will gladly oblige.
Yes.
Okay, let's move to the third team I think that did really good. Detroit. Okay, Schroeder gets moved to replace Ivy off the bench or starting, and it's a new start for him outside of Golden State.
Yeah.
Detroit is contending. That's a really good veteran to have.
I wouldn't say contending. They're competitive. They're competing.
Lindy Waters, I know it got some minutes with the Warriors, but nothing really into that.
Yeah, I don't know
Second
who
round
he is.
pick is fine.
He was on the Thunder
Was he?
a few years ago, yeah.
All right, the Heat, Wiggins, Kyle Anderson, Davion Mitchell, and a first. Okay, so Wiggins is the big piece they wanted back. Not sure that's a big piece at all. Kyle Anderson, salary dump like DeAnthony Melton, I felt like wasn't really playing at Golden State. Davion's a nice little story for Miami to possibly resurrect his career.
I think he's been playing well.
Yeah, there's nothing to resurrect. Like he's been
I
playing
think
good.
you need to resurrect some things, but okay.
No,
I like Davion.
I think if anyone needs resurrection, it's Andrew Wiggins.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like he was obviously the salary filler because he plays the same position as Butler.
Right.
You're not trading Draymond Green.
Yeah.
Look, I think Davion Mitchell is what prevented the Heat from not losing this trade.
I agree.
I like that take.
Because
I would have not been fine with Wiggins and Kyle Anderson in the first.
He's a Heat culture guy, Davion Mitchell. This is where he needed to be.
I like
And I love the fit. It's going to look weird seeing a 45 Mitchell in Miami, though. It's kind of funny. But, it kind of is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And then, of course, Golden State, Jimmy. That's what they wanted. They got it. They gave up just Wiggins, Kyle Anderson, of course, Flip Schroeder, Lindy Waters, and their own first.
Yeah.
If I'm grading this, okay, the A's go to Utah and Toronto just for getting picks. I will give Detroit an A because they gave up nothing and they got Schroeder and a second. So I will say.
Wait, how do they do that?
Well, they probably gave up seconds to the other team.
Just seconds.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
I think
that's
that's an A. They didn't give nothing. All right, Miami. I'll go B-. I don't love Wiggins. Kyle Anderson, I don't love. First and Davion Mitchell, save that. If Wiggins pops off and maybe goes up to a B plus or a B, not high on Wiggins at all. I don't know
That's
why.
fair.
I just don't like Wiggins.
I mean, I would take
He's
Wiggins.
getting older.
I'd take Wiggins right now over Mikhail and OG.
OG,
I'm taking OG. I'm taking
The
OG.
way OG, have you seen the way OG's been
Well,
playing
he's
over the
injured
past
now.
month?
He's injured.
He's not been playing good.
He's injured now.
He's injured?
He's injured.
Yeah.
All right, well, a healthy OG I'm taking.
Yeah.
But
And then-
that's like a rare occurrence.
It is.
So
Yeah. And then Golden State, of course, getting Jimmy. They gave up 4 players. 1, 2, 3, 4.
yeah,
One of them's not working out, which is Schroeder, of course. I think for Jimmy, and they signed him to a 2-year extension as well.
Already.
bro, they overpaid the fuck out of
And
him.
they overpaid massively.
Bro, he's getting paid 61 mil a year for the next 2 seasons.
And he already got fined for not showing up.
no,
That's
bro.
didn't happen.
No, bro.
I know.
Sharps,
I'm just
Grania.
kidding,
Not
just
falling for
kidding.
shards,
Sorry.
bro.
I'm sorry, bro.
Just grading the trade, not the extension. I'll give the trade a flat out B.
Okay.
The extension, heavy D minus F plus.
Yeah.
Jimmy's not worth $60 million a year.
No way.
No, there's only a few NBA players that are, and he's definitely not one of them.
But
But I think you could easily tie in the extension to Jimmy in the trade because like it essentially was a sign and it was
Right.
a trade and sign instead
So
of
what
a
would
sign
you
and
give
trade.
it overall?
if we're
Yeah.
counting extension, I'll bump it down to a B minus.
Oh, wow. I thought it would get to a C.
Yeah, I
No,
thought so.
no.
I'm going to give them a C, personally, if
think-
we're including that.
I think I will. I'm going to give him a C plus because I do see upside with Jimmy on this roster.
Do you?
I think he provides such a different change of pace for Steph, and I think it's gonna. I think he's hungry to win now.
He is.
So I think that's what Golden State needed, and I think he's going to buy into their system.
You think so?
I think it's going to work. Yeah, I don't think.
You don't think that Jimmy and Draymond will clash? Very alpha personalities.
Draymond clashes with everyone, so it's just like who cares?
Do you think that will affect their winning?
No,
No. Okay.
Jimmy. It's all about business on the floor. As long as he has his money, he is happy.
Fair.
So I will give the Warriors a C plus for this. The Heat, I'm going to give a B plus. I think Andrew Wiggins is going to thrive in Miami. I really do. And Davion Mitchell, I think, is a good pickup for them, along with the first round pick. Jazz and Raptors, like, it really doesn't matter. I'll give them like a B, you know.
Okay.
And then the Pistons. Dennis Schroeder is going to be very good for Cade Cunningham.
yeah.
Very good for Cade Cunningham. If you want vet leadership, that's your guy. So, I mean, he's not going to produce much. So I'll give the Pistons a B.
Yeah.
Really nothing I could say about that.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So for me, I'm going to give the Warriors a C, like I said before, if we're including, the whole thing.
You have to include it.
Yeah, we'll include
It's
it.
a lot of money.
Yeah, so let's see. The Heat, I love Davion Mitchell for that reason alone, and the first round pick. I'll give them a B because I'm not a big fan of Andrew Wiggins, as you said as well, Anthony. With the Jazz and the Raptors, I'm not going to spend too much time on this. The Jazz always find their way into some of these deals, so I'll just give them both a B.
That's
They're
fair.
here. They're here. That's it. And then the Pistons. Dennis Schroeder, I love Dennis Schroeder. I think the fit will be nice, actually, in Detroit. Ivy's out, so Schroeder will have major minutes. And when he comes back, probably next year, I don't know if Schroeder will still be there, but
He's an expiring contract.
Is he?
So he's got the free will to sign with anyone.
okay.
Which he probably will
I
sign
guess I
elsewhere.
can't speak on that yet. We'll
Yeah.
see. But I'll give the Pistons, I'll give them a B+.
Okay.
Sorry.
That's
Yeah.
fair enough. So not a bad trade whatsoever. I think all 5 parties walked out somewhat happy.
Yes.
I don't really think anyone lost a trade. We'll see, obviously, how it plays out. But let's move on to the next trade. I forgot what I had next. It's the Brandon Ingram trade. So we'll put the trade on the screen, obviously. So the Toronto Raptors acquired Brandon Ingram from the New Orleans Pelicans in exchange for Bruce Brown, Nets legend Bruce Brown, Kelly Olynyk, a first-round pick, and 1 second-round pick. Sorry. So very, very out of the blue considering
Yes.
I thought Toronto was tanking. But he is going to be out for a month, so they still can technically tank with him on the
They could.
roster. So Gio, I'll go to you.
Yeah,
Since obviously I know Fetty's probably been texting you a bunch about this.
he has.
What are your thoughts regarding this move for the Toronto Raptors? And what are your thoughts on the Pelicans' return?
Well, first I'll give you Fetty's thoughts because he is a Raptors fan. He pays very close attention to Raptors, the team. So
Yeah.
he loves this trade as a fan of the Raptors. He's a big fan of it. He was saying that Brandon Ingram was going to go to the Raptors even before it happened.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But me personally, I was telling him I'm not the biggest fan of Brandon Ingram. I just don't think he's got that. He doesn't have it in him. You know what I mean? And I noticed that in his first few years in the Lakers. Yeah, I'm not too sure about the fit. For that reason alone, I'm gonna go with this trade being a B minus because he does make them better.
Yeah.
But it doesn't bring them anywhere.
Can I offer a counterpoint?
Go for it.
Because Brandon Ingram, we know, is just a pure bucket. This now allows Scotty Barnes to do what he does best. He can play make. He can space the floor when he needs to. I think Brandon Ingram's going to make his job a lot easier when they're on the floor together. And I think you're really going to see a big leap from Scotty Barnes next season with Ingram on the roster, if he's still there.
Right.
So that's the only thing I kind of see with this. I do have high hopes for this working because I do believe in Scotty. And I know I'm not the biggest believer in Brandon Ingram, but I think in a Toronto system, I think Darko's going to make it work with him.
Okay.
I also did, you could ask Fetty, I did correctly predict this trade.
You did?
Because I said it's probably going to be Bruce Brown, one of Olynyk or Boucher, and a first-round pick.
Yeah.
And that's essentially what it was.
All right, you're perfect
So
in every way.
I just was wrong about the second. But, I mean, to be fair, there's really not much New Orleans can do at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, Bruce Brown's a free agent at the end of the season. He's probably just going to go take the MLE in Denver next season. Kelly Olynyk, I think, will be good for Zion, finally giving him a stretch 5. So that could be cool. And yeah, there's not really much else to it. So what would you grade this trade, Antoine?
Ooh, okay. So I saw that the Raptors traded for Ingram because they do want to re-sign him, and I think they're confident in doing that. I like BI here. For some reason, when you exile guys to Toronto, they decide to resurrect their career, i.e. Kawhi.
And RJ.
So this could be a good thing for him. I'm just curious with RJ moving to the 2, him playing the 3, Scotty at the 4, Pirtle at the 5. It's interesting lineups. Like Tyler said, Bruce Brown was the cap casualty. Olynyk was a throw-in for Boucher. Boucher's playing really good this year, so I'm glad they kept him.
Yeah, he is.
Instead. And then the picks are the picks. You got to give one for Ingram at least.
Yeah.
I think Toronto, for what they gave up, I'll give them a B+. Pelicans return, I really can't say much because his value was so low. They got one first, which I think is notable. The players, I guess, are just the players. I'll give the Pels a C+.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, it's fair. I mean, the Pelicans did get back 2 good role players, but they're competing for nothing.
Correct, yeah.
So it's kind of a moot point. I'll give the Pelicans a B. I don't really think it's that bad. For what the Raptors gave up, I would give this a B+. I think there's definitely question marks on if it's working and obviously BI's health.
Yeah.
But I like the fit. I think it's going to work.
Okay.
And we'll see what the Raptors can do. And if you could pair up Brandon Ingram, Scotty Barnes with like a Dylan Harper potentially in the draft,
Yeah.
that's
Or
essentially the
Cooper
Raptors.
flag.
Well, I don't know if that would necessarily work in the sense that you have Scotty, so you have Scotty, Brandon Ingram, and Cooper Flag. I don't know how that would work necessarily.
They're all super big, but they do different things.
Right, but one's going to have to get pushed to the bench, or you're going to have to force Scotty to play point guard again,
Oh.
which could work.
Scotty plays point guard.
He can, but he does his
He's a
best
power
work as a
forward.
small forward.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I think what's best for them is getting either VJ Edgecombe or Dylan Harper.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
not too shabby that. Let's move on to the next trade. We have got, we have the Cavs acquiring DeAndre Hunter. Now, this was a move that was very lightly talked about throughout the past few weeks in the NBA. And then all of a sudden, it just got a bunch of smoke, and it wound up happening. So here's the trade.
When did this happen?
On deadline
Deadline day.
So the Cavs acquired DeAndre Hunter from the Atlanta Hawks in exchange for Karis LeVert, Georges Niang, 3 second-round picks, and 2 pick swaps. So DeAndre Hunter reunited with Ty Jerome, who were both Cavaliers in college at Virginia, and now they're Cavaliers out in Cleveland in the NBA. Both 6 Man of the Year candidates. And this essentially shores up Cleveland's bench going forward now.
Oh, yeah.
Because either he's going to start or he's going to start and Strus comes off the bench, or the opposite.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
loaded.
Mr. Cavs hater, after this trade, how you feeling, man?
Man.
Hunter is a sniper.
He's a dog.
Sniper.
He's a sniper. He's a hooper.
Yes.
Period. So I think the Cavs win this trade, and I think unfortunately I have to give them a.
An A.
I don't want to give them an A.
You have to, bro.
No, I don't want to.
Bro, you have to.
I have to give him an 89.9%.
Bro, he's such a
It's
hater.
an
I'll give him a B
A-.
plus. Okay,
A-.
I'll give him a B plus.
I heard rumors that said if you give the Cavs a B plus for this trade, you have to admit that Chris Paul's better than Russell Westbrook.
So I'll have to give him a B on this one.
That's funny.
Yeah. And then for the Hawks, I think, Karis LeVert, he's also a really good player.
He's a dog, bro.
Yeah.
Nets legend.
He's also a very good player. So I think both teams actually, it's kind of an equal trade here.
I know.
Even though DeAndre Hunter is the better player.
Oh, yeah.
Correct. But his value is at an all-time high. Yeah. And it's been at the most in his whole career because he's been injured for literally his whole rookie contract.
He's either been injured or he's been ass.
Yeah.
Or kind of a mix of both.
This is his best year.
Oh, easily.
And, Atlanta, I guess, capitalized on that. LeVert's great. Niang was looking better this year. So they got two good guys off the bench, of course, that I think they're not going to start.
One good guy, one decent guy.
And second-round picks, 2 pick swaps. All right, cool. Cavs win, I think. Hunter is having the best year of his career.
What do you grade this?
Okay, Cleveland gets an A-.
Okay, that's fair.
Atlanta, they didn't do bad. I'll give them a B.
I mean, it's hard. It's hard for Atlanta because they just kind of dumped their whole roster out and they don't have their pick. So there's no incentive to tank. They can't compete. I don't know why they decided to do all of this now.
I don't know either.
Yeah,
I would have to give Atlanta a C because I just don't see a future really for them. They're gonna give the Spurs a generational talent.
I agree.
To pair with Wemby and Castle already with De'Aaron Fox. Yeah. The Cavs, I think this is going to be the P. If they wind up winning the title this year, this is going to be the reason why. Because we all know how good Karis LeVert is off the bench. We know how much Georges Niang can produce. We saw it in Philly. We saw it in Cleveland now.
Yeah.
And we saw it when he was playing in his first couple games as a Hawk. But in the playoffs, the rotation slimmed down a lot. And I would rather give up 2 decent role players for one that is going to be good. And I think DeAndre Hunter is going to fit right in. You already have the guaranteed chemistry with Ty Jerome, and I think he's really going to play well. You could do a duo lineup of Strus in one corner and DeAndre Hunter on the other corner. This Cavs team is good, man. I'm giving the Cavs an A for this trade.
Okay.
They came out very victorious.
And the Hawks, you said a C, right?
C, yeah.
I agree with that as well.
Because if they actually had other players on their roster that could help them, I would give it a higher grade. But
right. Yeah, I wish they got picks, not second round, first round picks.
They should have just got their own first back. They should have gotten involved in the Spurs trade.
Yeah.
They should have traded Trae Young to San Antonio for their first back and more.
Yeah.
But it is what it is, man. You know, it's hindsight's 2020.
Yeah.
So let's move on to the next trade. I forgot what is next. Oh, okay. So we have the 4-team trade that sent Mr. Carl Kuzma to the land of cheese. So the trade's on the screen. The Milwaukee Bucks received Kyle Kuzma, Jericho Sims, and 2 second-round picks. The Washington Wizards received Chris Middleton, A.J. Johnson, and 1 pick swap. The Knicks received DeLon Wright, and the Spurs received Patrick Baldwin Jr., who I believe was just waived.
Yes.
So, Antoine, as a Knicks fan, what are your thoughts on just this whole trade, I suppose?
Okay. So moving on from Jericho Sims, of course, was the talk of the deadline. It happened. Got DeLon Wright in return.
What do you think about him?
That lineup's getting smaller and
we
smaller.
have campaign. I really don't. I'll see. If he gets minutes, he gets minutes.
No, we don't need that.
The Knicks, I guess, just C, B for moving Jericho Sims. Baldwin for the Spurs. I have no idea why. I guess, whatever. I'm not going to grade that F.
Sometimes teams have to take on a bad contract just to make the trade work, and then they just waive them.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Washington gets Middleton. A.J. Johnson was their first-round pick this year. Oof. I'm going to give Washington a B. I think Middleton has a lot to prove still. I like Middleton's upside in Washington because, of course, that team is rebuilding with a lot of young guys, and he could help that.
Right.
Milwaukee, Kuzma's their big get. I don't know.
That's the big get.
I don't know what's going on there. Yeah. Jericho Sims, I guess, is a third big. Milwaukee should have did a little better. But Kuzma could pop off. He has good games here and there.
Here and there.
He was dreadful in his debut.
I will give Milwaukee again. Same thing as Milwaukee. Be honest. I think they swapped. They swapped small forwards right now that are at their lowest.
Yeah, I think that's fair
I
to
think
say.
that's what it comes down to. They're just banking on, I guess, either of them doing better in opposite teams.
Yeah.
I'd still rather have Chris Middleton on
I
one
agree.
leg than Kyle Kuzma.
Yeah, like
Bro, do you realize we're gonna look back on this in 20 years? The Bucks traded a franchise legend for Kyle Kuzma in 2025. You realize how insane that is?
Bro.
Like Chris Middleton's gonna get his number in the rafters if Pfizer for him. Like he's one of the best Bucks to play for that franchise, and you trade him away to the Wizards for Kyle Kuzma. You think that's gonna win you? No, it's gonna get Giannis to ask out.
wow.
Like,
This is the
I don't
beginning of the
know.
end.
could this be the beginning of the end of Milwaukee? I don't know. Like I said, the Spurs and Knicks were just two throw-in teams here, so I'm gonna give them just C's. Like I really
Yeah.
can't be bothered. Like the Spurs are fine. Fuck the Knicks. And with the Wizards actually came out quite good in this trade. I think they win this trade, to be
Yeah.
honest. More so, it's because of another trade we'll talk about later. But the fact that you got you pried away AJ Johnson from Milwaukee. I think he's got crazy upside. I give them a B because Middleton's still kind of washed. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
The Bucks, I mean, you probably got the Wizards' worst player, and then you probably got the Knicks' worst player. So at the end of the day, who really won here? It's not them.
It's just, yeah.
I'd probably give them a C minus.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat as you, Tyler. I don't think the Bucks definitely didn't win this. Kyle Kuzma, I'm not a big fan of him at all. He's very inconsistent. Like he'll give you a great game. You're like, whoa, he's actually a good player, and then he'll show you again why he's not that good of a player.
Right.
So it's like, yeah. So I'll give the Bucks probably give them a C minus as well. Wizards, I'll give them a B, and then the two bottom teams, Knicks and Spurs, I'll give them a C.
Fuck the Knicks.
Stop it.
It's fuck the Knicks and it's fuck Nico Harrison. But yeah, essentially this is such a pointless trade.
Yeah, just very random.
I think honestly every team except the Wizards got worse here. As far as, and I think just the Knicks and Bucks got worse because like Jericho
Sure.
Sims at least had size. Like DeLon Wright's 6'1".
I mean, Mitch is coming back. We have Precious as well. Cat.
Yeah.
And now Sims is just there.
That paint defense is going to be fucking awful.
We'll see.
We'll have
Never
to see.
know.
But let's move on to the next trade. Enough Knicks talk. I'm sick and tired of talking about them. All right, we have another trade involving the Atlanta Hawks just emptying their franchise.
Yeah.
So the Los Angeles Clippers have acquired Bogdanovic from the Atlanta Hawks in exchange for Terrence Mann, Bones Highland, and 3 second-round picks. Now, Bones Highland was just waived.
Yes. So just Terrence Mann.
Dang.
So, yeah. So, Gio,
Yeah.
what are your thoughts on this trade?
Man, Terrence Mann and Bones Highland, these are two guys that I actually liked like a couple of years ago. So
Yeah.
I'm surprised that, neither of them have had a good season.
Or
Not
good
at all.
career.
Or yeah, well,
Terrence Mann made some money
give
in his
them
career.
some time here, okay? The Hawks, like you said, Tyler, emptying their franchise. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what the goal is.
I think the goal is for Trey to ask out.
Well, Bogdanovic
Yeah.
was injured all year, too.
Right, but still, at the end of the day, like the Hawks roster is just not good enough to compete right now.
Yeah.
I honestly don't understand the purpose of this trade.
I mean, I was fine with them trading Bogdanovic, but like, why'd you trade DeAndre Hunter?
Yeah, Bogdanovic, I'm fine.
Yeah.
Hunter was the big one.
Yeah.
I don't understand the purpose of the trade, anyways.
Yeah.
I mean, Bogey was hurt.
Making a lot of money.
Yeah, I don't think he was going to re-sign anyways.
And you can get Terrence Mann
Well-
in 3 seconds.
I guess I could say the Clippers. I don't like this pickup of Bogdanovic, not that much.
Okay.
I'll give it probably like a C.
All right.
And then for the Hawks, same thing. C. This is pretty even, and it seems purposeless to me.
Yes.
I actually do like the Bogdan acquisition for the Clippers. I think he's going to provide some good spacing if he plays. I know he's been dealing with some injuries. I think it could work. You can give Harden the room he needs to kind of like thrive, especially now that they have Ben Simmons on the roster. You need to surround Ben Simmons with shooters, especially if he's going to be running the point. So I don't mind this trade for the Clippers at all. I think that the Clippers really don't have any risk. They have nothing to lose with any moves they make. They've already exceeded expectations.
Right.
And with Kawhi looking as washed as he is right now, which is just so sad to see, you can just see the amount of muscle mass he's lost from just being on the sidelines.
Yeah.
Wow.
You need some other guys to kind of help out. So I give this a B for the Clippers. The Hawks, I mean, I give this like a C+. I don't know what they're doing. Trading for two guys that are allergic to buckets.
Allergic.
Yeah. I mean, I'm hoping Mann could revive his career in Atlanta. Really good player, I feel like.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on. Bogey, I guess the Clippers get a nice shooter if he's healthy. I'll go B- Clippers, C+ Hawks, just because they could have gotten someone a little better than Bones as a second piece, but it's okay. I guess Terrence Mann for Bogey was a trade.
Yeah, I don't really mind that. Just two guys that have values that are crazy low right now.
Yeah.
It was just a very low risk trade for both sides.
Exactly.
So it is what it is. So not really much else to that. Let's get into the next trade. This is the second trade involving both the Sacramento Kings and the Washington Wizards. Now, the Sacramento Kings received Jonas Valanciunas from the Washington Wizards in exchange for Sidi Sissoko, who was waived, and 2 second-round picks. So very interesting. Sacramento is going to bring Valanciunas off the bench, but now he's reunited with his Lithuanian teammate in Domantas Sabonis.
Listen, Sacramento, again, made another trade after this. We'll get into that, but they're building their depth, which was their massive problem because Alex Len was washed, now going to the Lakers. You get a nice backup big in Valanciunas, and Sabonis didn't have nice chemistry as well. I don't know how Washington didn't get more than just 2 seconds.
Right.
It's a little concerning to me.
Oh, bro, he had no value. Valanciunas
All right.
Valanciunas since the playoffs last year has been terrific.
I mean, they could have gotten
come on,
a
City,
Trey
Sissoko.
Lyles or a.
You don't need that. Remember, Washington's not trying to win. Trey Lyles is going to help them win games.
Okay, true.
What
So
you-
you take the seconds.
What you need is the 2 seconds, which you can attach to dead assets to get off of them.
Okay.
That's second round picks are actually gaining more value in the NBA now.
I will. Sacramento, I think A. You get back a big for nothing. Washington, I think A as well because you shut off that money. Valanciunas got a 3-year deal.
So pretty even.
Yeah.
Both
And,
good
like I
moves.
said, yeah,
And he's got a very good contract. He's only making $10 million a year.
exactly.
Yeah.
I think they're both A's.
I agree with that, but I'm probably going to give it both B's.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you on that.
Okay.
To me, this didn't even seem like a move the Kings needed to make. I feel like they just nabbed Valanciunas so the Lakers couldn't get him.
Fair.
It just felt like a petty move, but I think he could provide some value in Sacramento.
Oh,
We'll see.
100%.
I really don't know. It really just depends on what Sacramento wants to do in the future.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it's really just kind of grasping at straws here, hoping this new age Bulls works out. So I give them
Yeah.
both Bs.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I have no problem with
not a bad trade. Let's get into the next trade. We have a few more to go. This is a very interesting trade we have here. So the Charlotte Hornets acquired Jusuf Nurkic from the Phoenix Suns along with a first-round pick and sent back Cody Martin, not the one that popped off in the playoffs. It's the worst twin.
Okay.
So Cody Martin, Vasily Micic, and 1 second-round pick. So you can breathe, Phoenix fans. Jusuf Nurkic is off your basketball team. Must feel great. So what do we think?
Okay. Phoenix, Vasily Micic does not want to play in Phoenix. He may want to get back to Europe or play in Denver with Jokic. He wants to play with Jokic. Cody Martin, I have no idea what's going to happen with him, but
They're going to use him. He has size.
yeah.
He's like 6'10".
yeah.
What? Is he actually?
Yeah, he's Caleb Martin's brother.
Yeah, I
Twin
didn't-
brother.
No, he's like 6'7", bro.
Yeah, 6'7", 6'8", I would
I
think.
don't think so. I think Cody's the bigger dude.
Okay.
I'm looking it up right now. I'm
Look
going
it
to
up.
fact check myself.
But Houston. Phoenix got to give up a first-round pick to the Hornets to get off of Nurkic.
Wow.
That is the biggest.
Oh, damn. He's even shorter than that. He's 6'6".
Is he?
Okay.
Wow.
He's one of those guys that looks bigger than he
plays
actually
big. He
is.
plays big.
Yeah.
But listen, Charlotte, of course, they would have gotten their center. Now that Mark Williams is back, Nurkic is the backup. And filling in for Nick Richards, who went to Phoenix as well.
Yeah.
So they know each other, but Phoenix gave up a first-round pick to get off of Nurkic.
That's yikes.
That's why they acquired it. They remember that was the picks they acquired from Utah. They sent back one of those picks to Charlotte because they knew they
What do
weren't.
you mean Utah's pick?
Remember when we reported on it a few weeks ago? The Suns traded their 2031 pick for 3 first-round picks from the Jazz. They used one of those picks to attach to Jusuf Nurkic
Okay, all right.
because
I didn't know that.
because they knew Nurkic was not enough. They were going to have to attach it first. The fact that he was a starting center making $20 million a year and he's off the rotation, like that's bad.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I think for Suns getting off Nurkic, but giving up a first, I'll give them a straight B. Hornets, I think B+. You get a first. Nurkic is going to be a rotational guy for you.
Yeah.
Making a lot of money, though, but a B+.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that the Hornets pulled off a heist here, like they're getting an A-.
Yeah.
Like the fact that you got a first-round pick out of this, like yeah, we'll eat the dead asset. Just give us the pick as well. The Suns, I mean, it's the Suns in it. Matt Ishbia does not make good moves. James Jones is probably going to be scapegoated in the offseason. I'll give them a C minus.
Yeah.
I don't really see this panning out at all, really. They're going to wind up trading KD in the summer.
Yeah. So I actually saw a stat that said that LaMelo is the highest screen percentage in the NBA.
Yeah.
And the one thing that Nurkic is really good at is screens.
Illegal screens.
Yeah, but he gets away with a few of them.
Yeah, he does.
So I think that could actually be really good for LaMelo Ball. That being said, and also the first round pick, of course.
Right.
That being said, I'm gonna have to give him an A. Now to the Suns, I think Cody Martin is actually a good rotational piece. Like he's one of those guys you just have to have on a team.
Yeah.
So I'll give it a C plus, I guess.
Okay, that's fair enough. I mean, this trade was just kind of getting rid of problem for problem.
Yeah.
And Jeff Peterson, kudos to you, man. He's been doing really good over there in Charlotte. So things are starting to look up. Just get Miles Bridges off that damn roster, please. Let's get into the next trade. I think we have like 1 or 2 left. We have got the other Martin twin. This was the one that popped off in the playoffs for Miami. So the Dallas Mavericks traded Caleb Martin, or they acquired Caleb Martin from the Philadelphia 76ers, sent back Quentin Grimes and a second-round pick. I've seen a lot of mixed reviews around this trade, so I'm curious to see what you guys think about this.
This is an interesting one because Caleb signed a 3 or 4 year deal with Philly in the offseason. They moved off from him already.
Yeah.
Dallas needs some depth, I guess. He's a great depth piece.
Yeah.
But Quentin Grimes was also hooping for Dallas as well. They sent him off to Philly.
Yeah.
With a second as well. I think it could be maybe okay. I think Quentin Grimes is going to get more time in Philly, of course. I think because McCain's out, they have a little shortened backcourt. I think the emergence of Yabusele made Caleb Martin expendable.
Yes.
Good point.
I think Yabusele was a real high flyer pick because of his Olympic year and Olympics in the summer, and he started. And now they're starting another guy, Justin Edwards, is getting starting minutes. No idea who he is. I think he's a rookie. But I think Caleb Martin just got the brunt of it and was demoted, and I guess that's what happened.
Yeah.
And then he making big money. You got off of him. Yabusele's on a 1-year deal. Out of just, I think, veteran minimum.
Has to be like this has to be one of the greatest comeback stories in NBA history, right?
What, Yabusele?
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
He's been amazing.
Yeah.
Dunk on Braun and everything.
Oh, absolutely. And especially just like getting the opportunity to come back to the league and actually cooking, especially on a team that's like not really that good this year because of injuries.
Yeah.
I was very confused on this trade at first because I was like, why are you getting rid of a better player? Because Quentin Grimes is having a much better year. He's more efficient all across the board. But then I realized he's probably not going to re-sign in Dallas. So you probably should get off of him. So I don't know. I feel very indifferent on this. Caleb Martin doesn't really add much to this Mavs team.
They're already deep already. So
Yeah, I mean, they're deep enough in role players, but they don't have a star player like Luka Doncic. So
doesn't do much for them.
no. So I'll give the Mavs like a C. This really was pointless. Fuck Nico Harrison.
I think I would do B and B.
I agree with you.
I think the Sixers won this trade, to be honest with you.
Yeah, they get off the money.
No, they need shooting. Like
And
Quentin,
shooting, yeah.
Quentin Grimes will.
I don't know if he's consistent though.
Quentin Grimes has been great this
He's
year.
been better.
This year, but like, I don't know, like going forth, like, is he going to continue this?
I think
don't
he
think
will.
so.
I think he will.
You think so?
Yeah, absolutely. You're going to be playing the Knicks 4 times a year now. Revenge game.
Yeah.
So I give the Sixers a B+.
B plus.
Okay.
The fact that the Mavs had to attach their last second-round pick. I'm giving the Mavs an F. Fuck Nico Harrison, man. I hate this guy, bro.
It's Nico.
Bro, I hate this
Yeah,
guy.
attaching a second-round pick,
Bro,
I don't know why.
they attached a second-round pick in both trades. You realize how inept that is?
Yeah.
That's nuts. Crazy.
Yeah. I don't know. I like Caleb Martin personally. I think
Okay.
he's more of a
You
trustful
know
player.
him? You know him? You see him on the street? You see I'm Gio? Caleb Martin,
What is he
what's up?
talking? What is he talking?
I don't know.
No, I actually like his game.
I know.
Like, he's a good player, I think.
He cooks the Celtics.
Yeah, and you need that,
But-
because they're probably going to play him again in the championship.
Yeah.
You need to have Caleb Martin on your team. That being said, B and B for both teams.
That's
All right.
fine.
Let's get into the final trade. We have got the big one. Well, the big finale. This just literally happened at, I think, 1 minute before the deadline closed. So the Washington Wizards acquired Marcus Smart from the Memphis Grizzlies. They also got Colby Jones, Alex Len, and a first-round pick. The Grizzlies received Marvin Bagley, Johnny Davis is finally off the Wizards, and 2 second-round picks. And then the Kings acquired Jake LaRavia from Memphis, who I'll presume they'll re-sign an RFA.
Yeah. Oof. Kings are the winners here. LaRavia is a really good bench piece. I think that's going to add depth to them. Again, Tallahassee next time as an RFA. The Met Grizzlies, I don't know what you need Marvin Bagley and Johnny Davis for. Same thing with Washington. Len got waived. I'm sure Kobe Jones is going to get waived. You got Marcus Smart. And at first, that's a win.
I think the Wizards won this trade.
Absolutely.
I think that's a win. But who gave up a first?
I don't remember which team it was, but because I just wrote down first round pick on
Probably
here.
the
But
Let me
this
look
dude,
it up.
this dude just sees a white shooter go to a team. He's like, oh, they won the trade.
But Laravia is nice.
Yeah, but he's not as good as Marcus Smart.
Oh, so the Grizzlies gave up a first-round pick.
yeah.
They had to attach a first to get off a Smart.
Yeah, so
That's
Grizz,
crazy.
Yeah.
What?
That's wild.
What do we grade this?
Is the
Why?
pick, is the pick protected?
It just says via Grizzlies.
But is the pick like? Is it just? It's just the Grizzlies unprotected first.
I guess.
Oh, so that's fine. The Grizzlies are going to be good this year. It's a late first round pick. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's 2025.
Yeah, they don't need it. It's fine.
Yeah, it's this year's pick.
So yeah, I think Marcus Smart. Now that is a vet for a young team.
Yes.
That is what they needed.
They already have Malcolm Brogdon.
Yeah, but Marcus Smart is
Smart.
he's a leader.
Yes.
Yeah.
Brogdon's a good player, but Marcus Smart is a leader.
100%.
He is a dog, and he will set a great example for these young cats going forward. So, look, I think the Wizards came out the winner here. I'll give the Wizards an A- for this.
Yeah, because you get an extra first.
Yeah, and then the Grizzlies, I'll probably give like a C. I mean, really,
Yeah.
it was pointless. Marcus Smart really added nothing to them, anyways.
No.
And the Kings, I would give the Kings like I don't know, a B-.
What did the Kings give up? Just
The Kings give up
Marvin Bagley.
Bagley, is it?
No. Alex Len.
Alex Len,
Alex
right?
Len.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I mean, Laravia is an interesting piece. I think he's a former first.
he's not that good though.
Are you sure? He has
Yeah,
some
he's not
nice
that
games this year.
He's probably averaging like 5 points a game.
Laravia?
Yeah.
That's double.
Check that out.
Yeah,
But
that's
he's,
double.
Meanwhile-
he's had some nice games.
What do you think, Gio?
I will say I'm around the same as you guys. I'll go with the Wizards. I'll give them a B+. I think they won the trade. The Grizzlies, C-. I think they gave up too much, and they got something that they didn't necessarily need, I feel like, in Bagley.
That's fair.
And the Kings, not bad, you know. Let's actually await his stat.
Let's wait his status.
Laravia is averaging 7.3.
Oh, it was
Okay.
close enough.
Okay, so yeah, I guess they got like a C+, B-.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not bad at all.
No. Interesting trade.
Yeah. So
Nonetheless.
that caps off the trades. We have one little bonus thing to close off this segment with. Now, there were 4 teams in the NBA that did not make a single trade at all this season. And let's grade them for that, because not making a trade could be good and not making a trade can be bad.
Oh,
So
I
here are the 4 teams that did not make a single move this season. The Denver Nuggets.
Well, the Nuggets got Russ though.
No, he was a signing. They
Oh,
signed him in free
you're
agency.
right.
And also,
Right.
that doesn't count because that would have been off season.
Right.
So the Denver Nuggets, the Minnesota Timberwolves, the Orlando Magic, and the Portland Trailblazers.
All right. So I think the story for Orlando and Portland. So Portland right now is riding hot. That's why they didn't trade anybody. Orlando, I think their core right now is very intact and their chemistry is really good. So like, i.e., trading Anthony Black, Tristan Da Silva, Cole Anthony, Jonathan Isaac, Wendell Carter. I think that was off the books because they need that bench depth. And I think the chemistry works.
Yeah.
Denver, I have no idea what they're doing. Minnesota, I guess Randall and Dante were too hard to trade.
There's no excuse why Randall's on this roster right
Yeah, that's
now.
true.
Like that's insane.
yeah.
What do you give him an F?
I don't know. I'm trying to think, because here's my thought process on this. Portland, it really didn't matter what they did. Like, they were going to finish in the same result regardless. Orlando's going to try and get Trae Young, so they're saving their assets because that is the most likely destination for him, and I think he would cook on that team. Minnesota, Julius Randle's still on this team, and I don't know why. And Denver, this is why you should not trade all your second-round picks, Calvin Booth. Like, you salary dumped Reggie Jackson with 3 second-round picks, and you're wondering why you have none left. That's why they couldn't make a trade. Teams wanted second-round picks. They were close on getting Chris Boucher, but Masai Ujiri wants
Oh, man.
picks. So
Chris Boucher is a nice pickup.
You're telling me we were close to getting Chris Boucher?
you were.
Oh,
Boucher's a
my
nice
goodness.
piece.
It fell apart in the last hour.
What would we have given up?
It would have been probably Zeke Naji, Dario Saric, and seconds.
Oh my goodness.
That's what it most likely would have been.
We
Yeah.
really just,
Or Julian Strother, one of the two.
Oh no.
So let's grade them. So, Antoine, just give me a grade for all 4.
Yes, I think Orlando and Portland are fine. I would go A-, A-. Denver, C-, D+. Same thing with Minnesota, C-, D+. What are you guys doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm more upset at Minnesota because Randall just needed to be traded.
Yes,
Yeah.
that was the main
I
thing.
give the Wolves an F+. F+ for that. Denver, I'll give a D because like the roster's fine, but like it would have helped to at least bring in Chris Boucher.
Yeah.
But if they can utilize Zeke Naji as a power forward, then it'll probably go up to a C.
We'll see.
Orlando, I'll give a B minus. I think they're fine. Portland, I give a B plus. I'm totally fine with them standing pat.
Yeah, I would have liked to have seen Jeremy Grant go to the Nuggets. That would have been nice, but that's a lot to give up.
I would rather have Michael Porter than Jeremy Grant.
Really?
Yeah,
A
100%.
6'10 sniper that can block shots. He's a much better defender than Jeremy Grant.
No, I don't know. Jeremy Grant can defend.
Michael Porter is you need Michael Porter. on
Okay,
that
yeah,
team.
you might be right. He is a sniper.
Yeah.
So
Just had his career high the other night.
oh, did he? What do you
39.
have? 39. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, keep doing that, Mike. Keep doing that. All right, so Denver, I'm gonna same with you, Tyler. Give them a D.
Yeah.
Minnesota, a D as well. Orlando and Portland, I guess a B plus. I mean,
Okay.
they didn't really, yeah.
Yeah, it's
They
pretty fair.
didn't do anything, so.
So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that caps off all the trades, and that brings us to the end, to episode number 43 of the Floor Spacer podcast.
44.
44.
Yes.
I'm so done. I hope I really didn't say 44 at the beginning.
You did say 44.
Okay,
you're
good.
good.
And we're chilling.
Yeah.
So lads, how we feeling?
Oh,
Good.
We're good. Now we can finally focus on just basketball.
Exactly. So this is probably gonna be one of our longer episodes, considering this segment's gone on for over 50 minutes. But you know, a lot of trade talk. But Gio, you know what time it is for that point in the video. What are the people commenting at home?
Comment LSU for Tyler's
LSU.
shirt.
It's backwards on screen, but
Yeah.
y'all should
USL.
know. Yeah, USL.
What does USL stand for?
United Soccer League.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
It's true. So, although it reads U2J.
Ah,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
YouTube. Yeah,
So that's what it is. So comment LSU down in the down in the comments section. As for next week, I think we're going to do another all 30 NBA team style thing. We're going to talk about the buyout market, what team should get what player, whatever team fits. So be on the lookout for that. We'll also talk about All-Star Weekend and everything of that nature next week. Should be a lot of fun. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. If you guys did enjoy today's video, be sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, trying to get to 5K. If you're on Spotify audio platforms, give us 5 stars, leave a review, answer the polls. Follow our social medias at Floor Spacer Pod on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all that stuff. All our personal ones in the description. Get Gio to 1 million Instagram followers. And guys, any final thoughts, comments, concerns, questions before we head on out for the week?
We good?
They not like us.
Okay.
They not like us.
I don't want to get copyright claimed.
Okay.
But we hope you all enjoyed. Thank you all for watching. We love you all endlessly, and we'll see you all next week in episode number 45. Peace out.